Let's do it.
Hello, everyone! Welcome back to Misty Mountain Streaming. I'm the D&D-Wannabe, my name is Rob, and look! We have people back. Katya is back.
Wait, can you hear me? There you go. Hi!
Now we can hear you. I was say, the lips, they move, the sound, she no come out. We're all just miming D&D. That would be
interesting. What is that gonna look like for you? I'm just gonna the whole time go like...
I don't know what it's gonna look like. I know it's not. I know what it's gonna sound like, though.
Nice.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Well, as you guys can clearly see, this is still was our Thursdays will be for the rest of the month of the March to GaryCon. GaryCon is taking place in Lake Geneva this year. I think it often does. I am going to personally be there, which is a thing that is very exciting to me as a human being. That is one of the cons that I knew of before I knew about cons. As part of the convention, there are streams leading up to the live stream events at the convention, and we have been invited to join them. There are going to be virtual events all throughout the weekend of March 23rd through the 26th. Do I have that right? Yes! Ha! I know dates.
Nice.
You can
Professional
go...
or something.
Yeah, you can go to their website, you can purchase these virtual tickets, you can participate in live events. Jason Charles Miller is also running the GaryCon streams on Sundays. I tuned into that one this week. That was a lot of fun. I got the pleasure of meeting him at Origins Game Fair last year, and it was an absolute delight. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about GaryCon, but in the meantime, say hello to the people. Katya, since we missed you last week, let's hear from you first, and you are the sole D20 Tales representative, so you're going to have to carry Rose's weight now.
Oh my god. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think without Rose, we're gonna die very quickly. So let's see what's gonna happen. Hi, everyone. My name is Katya Saturday. I'm an actress, a writer, a D&D player, and I'm a cast member of the amazing D20 Tales. Season 2 of Play Striders is gonna be streamed on YouTube very, very soon. We don't know how soon, but very soon. And there's a lot going on there because for season 2, we actually partnered with Tuluk the Barbarian and Play Your Role for Phil from I almost said Play Your Role from Phil, the other way. Phil from Play Your Role. And there's a lot of fun stuff going on, and also a little bit of my own personal news. I got engaged while I was away, so that's there. So yes, thank you, everyone.
I'm happy
to
for
know
you.
Rob and I are both licensed ministers. We can perform weddings.
Ooh, oh, here's the thing. You're joking, but like...
No,
he's not
I'm not.
joking.
That's real. We both performed weddings.
Mm-hmm. Levi performed mine back in the day, and I performed one for another friend. It was a little tradition that I guess began with the two of us, of friends officiating our friends' weddings.
That is... Oh my god, I love this so much.
No joke. No, I love it. I love overhearing couples say, like, babe, I love you so much, I could marry you right now. I have a literal license, and I'll show up, and I'm like, how much did you mean it, huh? Right now? I'll do it for free. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Mine's framed back at the house.
There, we have the two types. We have the ones that carry with them at all times, and the ones that just have it framed in the house.
I have a plaque too, but I've never... It's in a safe, so I don't lose it or something.
Nice. All right, tossing it up to... Hey, Levi. Catch.
Oh my god. So yes, for no reason or other, I hope somebody brought bail money tonight. Anyway.
Oh god, what did you do?
What didn't we do?
Oh my god.
I don't remember.
We are the sequel to the movie The Hangover, and it was epic. It was legendary. We don't remember much of it, but the whole city knows who we are now.
I gave a lot of money away.
What is happening? Oh my god. Chat, what did they do?
See, Katya, when I didn't play the 1 week I went back and watched the game that I didn't play, and I did my research.
Hey, here's the
Katya's
deal.
a busy woman. She just got engaged.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
No, to be fair, I just didn't want meta knowledge, and I wanted the raw reaction because based on what you told me in the chat, I was like, I'm gonna see like a little bit because I want to see what you were up to. And when I saw the big stuff coming, I'm like, nope, I want to see. I want to see with my own eyes.
Not a girl.
All right, back on target here. My name is Levi Mixon. I'm man, I almost gave my work intro. I work in a call center, and I almost finished it just now. Not that. I'm not even kidding. That almost fell out. Anyway, I also am head of Consuite Media. I interview celebrities at conventions. I got 7 under my belt, and my editor has finally gotten started on a few of the projects. So we will see some stuff soon. I do podcasts about every other week, maybe 3 weeks at a time. We talk about news, culture, pop culture, movies, entertainment, superheroes, things like that. Long walks on the beach. Love dressed like I'm a ranger, and I enjoy going on hikes. That's all. And Sam, buddy, here comes. Go long.
Alrighty, and as he said, I am Sam. I go by Husbando Senpai. I do not much but play games with my friends and have some fun. So that's what we're here to do, and let's hopefully have some fun.
I hope somebody does.
Before I continue, let me give special thanks and shout-outs to Jay's Jazzes for the follow and joining our weird little corner of the internet. To Eli Palma, to It's Whisper, Feel the Colors, Majestic Biscuit, and Azatrion. Thank you guys all for the follows and supporting this channel. Also, thank you to Mud's Eye, who has subscribed for their 9th straight month, and to Sassy Skittles for the raid yesterday. I appreciate all of you. Every little bit goes a very long way for us, and it still means the world to us. Also, thank you to the Existential Nerd, who is buying me inspiration and DM's accomplice, all wonderful things that I need.
Nani?
Let's see. Oh, wait. I have new inspiration for us all. It sparkles.
Oh! Also, thank you, Existential Nerd, for the inspiration for engagement. I really, really appreciate it, and I have a feeling I'm gonna need it tonight. What the fuck did you two do? I thought I was the chaos potato
it's
here.
Fine, Katya!
You still are. It's just we had a vacation.
Yes, we partied really hard.
Everything's okay. Because I'm on
Legendary.
vacation. Anyone? Red and Link?
Legendary.
Good Mythical Morning? Nobody? Anybody? Okay. Alright. I can't use my stream deck right now because I have the new inspiration and it's not all agreeing on what it's referencing. Thank you, TL Holdren! Gifting a sub to Katya. I appreciate you. And you're welcome, Katya. Now, if you go back and watch any of our VODs, you won't have ads. Alright. Real quick. Other things about the March to GaryCon. As I mentioned, it'll be at the Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin from the 23rd to the 26th of this month. You can sign up for virtual gameplay at play.garycon.com. You must register for a virtual badge to be able to get into the games. You have to virtually be supporting the con to virtually enjoy the con. It kind of makes sense, a little, quid pro quo. Gax Pack is the Jason Charles Miller DM'd D&D game happening every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Every Monday, you still have the 12th and the 19th to catch if you haven't missed it. That was a good time. And look for the hashtags Virtual GaryCon and GaryConXV, GaryCon15, to learn more on social media. Yes, Levi.
Question. You say that we're somehow a part of GaryCon. How can people watch us in GaryCon? How does that part work? How do they get there?
Well, we are not going to... Well, y'all are not going to be at GaryCon.
You know.
But I will be playing at GaryCon. I will be playing the Alien RPG Friday night at 10 Central. And they can go over to GaryCon's Twitch channel, and we will be streaming there. And I'm excited for that.
That's what I was about trying to get to there. How does they do that?
Yes, thank you. Appreciate. And
Figured
hello,
that was a good answer.
Kibi Surdo. Or Kibe. I don't know how to say it, but hey, welcome. Cheers to you, friend. You got a little J and B today.
Nice.
Completely unrelated, my brother and I went back and we watched John Carpenter's The Thing, and all through the movie, Kurt Russell is just draining J&B straight out of the bottle. Katya, you make a face like you don't know what John Carpenter's The Thing is.
I don't, and also the following sentence was the one that concerned me the most. But pray tell.
It is a classic horror movie starring Kurt Russell, and it is one of the hallmarks of, if you want something that is like Cthulhu inspired, like there's stuff we don't understand and it drives people insane, that is a great movie to watch. It was great.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Rob. I found this out recently. The opening of that film where the dog is running towards the guys, the guy who's chasing after them with the gun, he's literally explaining the entire plot in like Serbian.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's explaining. He's like, "Don't do it, don't do it," and he lists all the reasons why, what's wrong.
I forget what it is. It's they keep saying, Kurt Russell's character keeps calling them Swedes, I think. He says they're Norwegian. They're Norwegian.
Maybe. Whatever the language is he's speaking, he's like explaining the entire plot. And
if they're Norwegian, it probably is Serbian. But it's in whatever their language is. Either way, it's not English, so I don't understand it because I am monolingual. Thank you to everybody who's watching us live. Why don't we give the people a show, huh? Let's play some D&D. Everyone have dice handy?
Oh, that's the show. Okay, never mind.
Where did mine go? Ah, here we are. I got so much on this desk.
If you had any good questions about Emannuel tonight, you should find out most of them.
Also, I have the same hollow dice I've been rolling, so try not to make me roll dice because they've been doing very well.
Burn them.
And finally, I have with us the red bone themed, not bone material dice that someone could win when our little sub bar fills up at the bottom down there. TL Holdren and Mudzai have already gotten us a little bit closer to that, so these go in the mail whenever we hit 50. Right. So
let's play some D&D.
Bit of a recap. So,
oh god.
Excuse me. Before we start, thanks TL Holdren for pushing us further towards the goal, and to new follower Kibby Serto for the kind words and for congrats on your new subscription. Thanks, Holdren. Really appreciate you, pal. Shelling out today. Appreciate you. So, Nia, the little fairy girl, Zentris, the Aasimar monk, and Emannuel, the totally normal guy, are all heading to Waterdeep. Nia was detained for a day. We'll find out more about that in a moment.
Detained is the right word, I have a feeling, but not for Nia in this case.
Zentris and Emannuel went into the city, and as they were going in, someone tried to plant an item on their person. Zentris managed to catch this and discarded it before going through the checkpoint. Then they entered the city, took some time to get their currency changed to the currency of the realm, and then basically went out and explored the city and had a wonderful night. And if anything else happens, Nia doesn't know about it yet. So we are going to stop our recap right there and go back in the direction of Phandalin, up the high road along the Sword Coast. Nia, you had to stay an extra day in Phandalin. You were saying goodbye to your friend Tyria. What have you kind of been up to, and how has the journey down the high road solo been for you?
I feel like remembering all of her days at Neverwinter, Nia actually stayed back to assist as much as she could with restoring the city from the Red Ruffians. That all of the destructions they've caused, like, even though she could not actually like physically help with things, she was able to draft up some plans for the new and improved to like leave the city better than when they came into it. Because saving is a great thing, but like, you know, insurance money and like destruction and all those things, like, you know, that needs to be taken care of as well sometimes. So she has been practicing that and also sharing some of her inventions to make the process of lifting things and fixing stuff a little bit easier.
Excellent. And then traveling down the high road, it's more than a day's journey to get from Phandalin down the Tribor Trail back to the high road and continue south down the coast. And it's even as capable a young woman as you are you trying to make the journey alone? Do you maybe
Oh,
meet
God,
some people,
no.
like party up, or...
Hey, I don't want to meet another bear or a wolf along the way. I would be a tiny
I-
snack flying through. Like, I'm good. So...
Oh, please,
because,
you're already a tiny
for all the new
snack.
viewers... Yeah. Nia is 8 inches tall, so... Anyway, so I would like to ask if it's possible for me to, like, maybe catch a ride? Like, hitchhike a little bit?
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
not safe either, but better than walking alone.
I have some
Gotta-
friends you could meet here. Why don't you
Ooh.
roll me a d4?
A D4. I
Yeah.
would love that. Let's see, which Misty Mountain Gaming dice do I get to use today? Ooh, I get to use those pretty metal ones.
Nice.
Alright, and that is a 4!
A 4. So let's scroll to the bottom of my list here.
Let's hope it goes least worst to best.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I mean, surely, right?
oh god.
Why would it
Oh,
be
no.
different?
Rob. Also, I
No
also
funny
don't
business,
know.
boy.
Yeah. I am scared.
Alright, there we go.
Oh god.
Alright.
Oh, don't tell me it's plunder that I need, like, because that would be just funny. We were trying to kill each other, and now she's giving me a ride. Like, sure, I'm down.
So you are traveling back from on the high road, and you manage to meet some people before you have to call it quits for the night, before it gets too dark to really reasonably travel. And it's a carriage, actually. It's not a... Sometimes you see carts going up and down, sometimes you see wagons, riders, pedestrians. This is actually a coach, with a coachman, a couple of white horses, and for whatever reason, seeing you traveling alone with your little bindle over your shoulder, or whatever whatever you have, and your quacking
Quacks
mechanical
sometimes.
duck, prompts this coach to stop, and you are invited inside. Within is a single occupant. It is a young man in his, well, maybe not so young, unless I consider myself a young man anymore. In his mid-30s, he has shoulder-length red hair, a fairly muscular build. Looks like he takes care of himself, shiny teeth, little bit of a tan. He gets some sun. You get to talking a little bit, and he introduces himself as Raenar. And roll a history check for me.
Just about to ask. Let me just remember what's Nia's history bonus. Oh, we got a +4, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
so
you a
let's see.
brainiac.
A Brainiac who rolls pretty well too. 17.
17. All right. I mean, Raenar is not exactly John Smith in the Forgotten Realms, like, but surely there's a few Raenars out there, but it's like hearing, the name Paris. You're like, Hilton?
Mm-hmm.
Are you that one? When he introduces himself as Raenar, your first thought is Raenar Neverember. Which is, and you get to talk, it's like, oh, are you that one? He's like, yeah, I am, and he is a little bit awkward and not exactly forthcoming about it, but as you kind of get to talking, yeah, he is Dagult Neverember's son. Dagult Neverember was the Open Lord of Waterdeep, and has recently left that position to a woman named Laryl Silverhand, and Raenar seems to be thinking that maybe that was a good call, but he doesn't really want to go into details about it. And Dagult has gone up to Neverwinter and has been rebuilding the place with just all kinds, like seemingly an endless amount of money that no one is really quite sure where it's coming from.
Okay.
He seems a little reluctant to talk about these things with you, and he is much more interested in learning about you and where you're going, and making recommendations. He grew up in Waterdeep, and he's going home. And wants to know if you've ever been to the Yawning Portal and doing all this. If you want to try and... Do you want to try and broach the subjects he's not super comfortable with? Or do you want to just kind of be a more polite guest and let him steer the conversation?
I feel like Nia would take a hint that there's some family drama that's going on that, like, she probably should not be prying into. but at the same time, she would definitely try and pitch herself as someone's like, ah, you're saying you're rebuilding? Well,
Mhm.
actually, it's the town you just passed. You see, I was actually one of the main engineers on reconstructing, and now I'm looking for new gigs. Do keep me posted if you need someone in mind. So,
Hey, Eric. Thank you, friend. Good to hear from you. Always glad to have you stop by.
hello.
Would you
But yeah,
consider? Are
she would
you
try
like?
to pitch herself.
Are
Yeah.
you persuading him with rational, reasonable arguments, or are you like putting on a show for him and seeing larger than life?
I'd say persuading is a lot more up that lane. So,
Throw me a persuasion roll, then, please.
okay, that's also a +4. So let's see. Haha, that's 20.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, hot rolls today.
You can see the kind of relief wash over him as you kind of leave these conversational topics behind and move on to talking about you and your success. And when he finds out that you have been adventuring in Phandalin, he's heard of Phandalin and maybe even traveled through there when he was a boy, and is very interested in the tales of you and your friends, and seems over the course of this trip to have a very high estimation of you and your capabilities as an individual and as a group. He will tell you for free that he is going to be staying. He says he has a place in the Sea Ward, but he is planning to be moving around the city quite a lot.
Okay.
Tying up some of his dad's loose ends, some unfinished business that was left here, and again he kind of tries to brush off whatever that might be, but says that if you ever need something, to look him up or to ask around, and you shouldn't be too hard to find him, and you should he'd be happy to help y'all with something if you did it.
Got it. Okay, perfect. So, hey, that's a beautiful connection that I have a feeling I might fucking need. Looking at you two.
He does say that he might be in the market for some help if things go well, or if things go poorly, and asks how he might contact you if you find yourself with some free time.
Out of character, my first thought was like, yeah, you ever hear an explosion around the city? That's probably me. So that's just me. So she would definitely, like, she would introduce herself and say that she's always making sure people around know her name and know her for her profession. So look for someone who is able to fix things and able to create things to fix things. So we're always going to be somewhere nearby.
He pushes you a little harder for that. Says, he says, I know it doesn't sound like you've been there before. It's a big city. Do you know what ward you'll be in, or are you staying at a particular inn?
We didn't agree upon. Oh, so in this case, well, actually, I'll be meeting up with two of my friends there. They went ahead. We haven't figured out a full plan yet, but hey, I'm a girl from a big city myself, from Neverwinter, if you know what I mean. So I'm sure we'll be fine. No,
All
we'll
right.
not. But that's just me.
Well, and says, tell you what. While I'm in the city, there's a particular spot that I'm especially partial to. So, when you get settled, when you have a plan, when you have a place to stay, leave word with Durnan at the Yawning Portal. When you do, if I ever need you, I'll inquire there. How does that sound? It's a marvelous place. You should definitely stop by.
Sounds good. Yawning Portal. Keep that in mind. Thank you, sir. And thank you for the beautiful ride. It's honestly quite an engineering miracle.
You guys approach the city, and when you guys arrive, you kind of join this queue, and you kind of look out the window, and you see carts and horses and people ahead of you, and carts and horses and people behind you, as these people in brightly colored uniforms and armor are checking people as they come in, and you make it to the gate, and a fellow human man, short, dressed in this orange and blue garb with a metal pointed helmet, comes up and opens the carriage door and sticks his head inside, and sees you, and then sees Raenar, and then sees Raenar again. Says, "Well, Neverember returns. Brave lad. Right, we'll start with the usual anyway. Names?" And he turns to you.
Begonia.
Begonia. Last name?
Smith.
Smith. Scribbles. And turns to him.
She's like the first one on the fly, the first one she came up with.
Raynar's lips are set in a firm line as the man just kind of turns to him and writes Raenar Neverember without asking. Turns back to you. How long will you be staying in Waterdeep?
As long as I'm needed. I am an engineer by profession. I hopefully will be assisting with the newer projects for the city.
I'll just put unspecified. Scribbles.
Some respect around here.
You son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And how long will you be staying in Waterdeep, Lord Neverember? Just few days, hopefully not longer. Indeed. Scribbles. Business or pleasure, Miss Smith?
Business mixed in with hopefully not getting into trouble.
I hope so as well. Scribbles.
What is that face, Levi?
Nothing in the face at all. What are you talking about?
And
God.
as he looks up to Raenar, Raenar says, "We both know I wouldn't be returning for pleasure, now don't we?" Scribbles. You have anything to declare?
Anything in specific, like food? I don't know, inventions?
Anything out of the ordinary?
Oh!
Best we know
then
now.
Understandable. Nia digs into her bag and takes out two things. First, the duck, the homunculus servant that she has, and the cannon that is specifically set in the defense mode to give temporary hit points. I know what it looks like. Not a weapon. Please do not worry. It's a thing mainly created for protection, like protecting of self. It's like a healing thing. It's a thing that creates like a barrier around, never to harm anyone.
He kind of looks at it, looks at you. He pokes at the feathery side of his pin at the duck, who promptly bites on with its bill onto the end of the feather, and he tugs it free, missing several bits. Scribbles. He says, "Is this your first visit to Waterdeep?"
Last time I've been was ways off, so yeah.
You'll be wanting a copy of this then. And he snaps his fingers and is handed a folded piece of parchment, and he hands it to you. And as he does so, he looks kind of side eyes at Raenar and says, "Maybe review it with him, just in case he's forgotten." Right then, and he kind of straightens himself up, closes the door, pushes a curtain aside, and says, "Hope this is the last we'll be hearing from you. Enjoy your stay in Waterdeep."
As soon as we're out of earshot, Nia just quietly to herself, "I highly doubt that."
Raenar says, "Yes.
I'm sorry, I really don't mean to pry, but may I ask? If you're clearly not happy about showing up here, hey, no need to tell me about family drama. If anything, I understand more than anything, trust me. But, you know, if you're not happy to be here, why come at all?"
It won't be long before you hear one way or another. So, my father, while he was the open Lord of Waterdeep, is suspected of having embezzled a considerable sum from the city's coffers.
Awkward. Okay.
Word.
Is stepping down as open lord and then leaving to assist his home of Neverwinter was seen as something of a escape before things got proven. It is not looked upon very favorably.
I mean, hey, Neverwinter is quite fucked as is, so one more person like that is not gonna fuck it anymore, so.
It's true. Nevertheless, I am shamed by the aspersions that my father has placed upon the family. I'm also ashamed that he ran from such accusations, or at least has not returned to defend himself, and so I am here to either clear my father's name or to find proof that he did and assist in him being brought to some semblance of justice.
Understandable why it's not a happy thing to do, but to be fair, I must say I very much admire that you are going on such long lengths to ensure either the justice for your family, whether they're right or wrong about this. It is a hard thing to do.
Whatever else he may or may not be, my father was a good father, and he raised me to believe in honor, justice. And whether or not he has turned his back on those values, I will hold him to them. Now that said, it's probably best we part ways for now. They're going to be having me followed.
I see. Just throwing it out there, in case you ever need it, me and my friends have gotten actually really good at being able to deal with or helping someone escape trouble, so do let me know if you need us.
I appreciate that. I'm not here to pick a fight with the City Watch or the City Guard.
You usually don't pick fights with guards, you know, it kind of just... Not that I'm speaking from experience.
Good point.
Not if you don't, want to see the inside of that paper put to use, anyway.
Yeah, Nia kind of opens the paper.
So if you scroll back through our Discord a ways,
Yep.
you will find a link to Waterdeep's Code Legal. It is a list of all of the
Yep, I
crimes
saw that one.
for which you can be
Yeah,
held
that one I
accountable by
saw.
the city.
Oh, God. You know, it's interesting that, like, instead of, like, a tourist pamphlet or, like, you know, any, like, advertisement for the city views, they give you this. Expectations much for, you know, newcomers, but okay.
How they charge
I'm not the
you.
one to judge.
It shows where they place their priorities.
Mm-hmm. That is fair.
He leans from his chair and opens the door as the carriage comes to a stop on a on a street past the Fields Board. He has taken you that far anyway. And gestures for you to exit his carriage and says, "But it's good to know that I have friends if I need them. Remember, the Yawning Portal, whenever you get settled."
The Yawning Portal. Right away, sir. Very nice to meet you.
Oh, and you'll want to find a place to get your currency exchanged. In fact, I could save you the trouble. I'll need to be making a stop myself. What do you have on you?
Can you remind me of the currency that was in Fendolin?
Oh, he's just asking for your for the amount. If it's something that he can change without and save you a stop.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, I feel like he would, because I did not have a chance to write down how much we were given for the entirety of the last main quest that we had.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that and 13 gold pieces and 3 silver.
Okay. You're gonna have at least 100 on top of that, as I told the other guys.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. It was a very successful endeavor.
That said, some more money was put into Gundren a little bit to help him get started on his business, and you are going to be receiving money from Phandalin, all of you, as the adventure continues. So you have about 113 gold on you, and he counts through a coin purse, which makes a very pleasant sound to someone who has been without not all that recently, and hands you out dragons and shards and nibs as necessary. And you can, I think I linked the currency down in our Discord as well. If not, I'll do it again later. But
thank you.
New and exciting shapes for coins that are worth the same.
I see.
With that, Raenar bids you a good day and hangs a right and heads off towards the Sea Ward. And you are on a street corner in Waterdeep with 113 gold in your pocket and no friends.
Right. So Nia was just about to turn around excitedly, and then she stops. Shit. We didn't agree on a meeting spot. Right. Okay. I want to look around to see like a tavern nearby. We're gonna start there.
Okay. In the interest of time for the two guys who are watching us play with ourselves at the moment.
Yeah, I would love to have a convo about all this. So.
I would like you to make 3 persuasion checks, please.
Let's
Just
go. I'll
roll them in a row.
Them.
You're trying to track down people with your friends' descriptions. They've come through here lately. You remember the look of their cart and what they were wearing. And...
Oh yeah, no, she would be like right away to like describing and everything. So let's see. We got.
Tells everybody else about us.
Those are rolls. So one is a 16.
Okay.
Another one is a 13, and the other one is a 9.
Okay. So you are trying your best to focus and ask around and ask the right questions of people who look like they know what they're talking about. You talk to more than one City Watch member, trying to ascertain things, but the city is so gosh darn distracting. There are these immense elephant people walking around. There are multi-tiered carriages, like medieval omnibuses going through the streets.
I forgot how stressful it is.
There's incredible colors everywhere. Very fashionable men and women walking along the streets. You see griffins flying overhead with shinily armored soldiers flying on their backs, keeping on a watch over the city, and occasionally a flying carpet or a flying broom will go overhead with some wizard in a hurry with their papers flying off into the wind like pamphlets.
Do you mind signaling next time?
All manner of advertisements at you for haberdashery, fresh baked buns, best beer in Waterdeep. And
I need 6 eggs.
But as you're asking around, it's no after no after no after. You're looking for just 2 people in this whole city. What are you, insane? Generally, though, you are making your way in the direction of the Trades Ward and the Monastery of the Sun that you were told that Zentris was at when you happen to ask a gentleman, and it is, you've been at this for hours by this point, but you ask a member of the town guard, the city watch about this, and you're starting to pick up on some things. The city watch are the guys in the orange and green with the steel caps, and they're like police officers, peace officers, constables, and then anyone in the shiny armor with a griffin near them wielding lances and pikes, those are the city guard, which is like the army here, or maybe I should say the Air Force. Anyway.
Yeah, I was about to say, they got flying squadrons. Okay.
Yes. And he says, right, those 2 had a real.
Oh, you saw them?
Well, they had a real time of it last night, actually. Made it all the way down to the Jade Dancer for, we had to pick them up.
Jade Dancer being a tavern?
Yes, if you're not. Oh, you should really go. They have a statue there, and it animates and performs for the clientele. It's actually fabulous.
Interesting. Good to know.
But yeah, they were short of funds and quite belligerent, so we had to keep them quiet for the night.
I'm sorry. Keep them quiet.
Yeah, from disturbing themselves and others.
Where can I find them?
He gives you some directions to a watch office down in the southern ward.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? So Nia just kind of looks at him. She's goes, good sir, thank you. Right away, telling you they are not usually like this, and I will take it upon myself to personally ensure this will never happen again. We are citizens of the law, as you will. Oh.
I'm delighted to hear it. Will be anything else?
You said that way, right?
Generally speaking.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
If you get lost, keep asking.
Thank you very much. I will make sure of that. It's going to be so much easier with two of those, not letting me get hit by things. Okay.
So as you're making your way, just throw me a quick, just call it a wisdom check for me. Be able to follow the directions when you're seeing 120-foot tall statues just glowering over the city. Some of them with one of them with a levitating globe over its hands. And how'd that wisdom check go?
Shit, that's cool. 13.
13. You're kind of winding your way through different streets, but you're kind of having to avoid the crowds, and it's harder to navigate the city than you thought. It's hard to follow directions, and everyone when you ask for directions, some people seem to genuinely just be amused by the fact that you're lost and not really want to help, but kind of watch you as you go to see if you're going in the right direction, and whether or not
anytime that would happen, Nia would just go.
If you're going in the right direction or not, you hear them sniggering behind you. One of the people that you pass by on the street, you realize that you are walking in the same direction. And, different people are peeling off and going this way or that way or this way or the other. But it's really hard to miss the 10-foot tall Minotaur with immense horns coming around. One of them seems to be dipped in gold, or maybe gold capped, not sure. Wearing this bright blue over the shoulder toga that leaves very little to the imagination, as a matter of fact. Gold and brass bangles, just rawhide, just all over, just leathery skin. He is an impressively muscular figure with a big old beer belly. But he's going the same direction as you, turn after turn after turn, just walking with focused, single-minded purpose.
So, I'm gonna do a thing here. There's this tactic where, you need to turn right 4 times see if they're following you. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Is he following me?
No, you actually wind up a little ways behind him.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Nia's actually gonna fly up and appear right next to his head and be like, hey, hello, hi. Sorry.
He turns to you and a huge horn
Hey!
flies by your face. Oh. Hello.
Hi. Nia here. I apologize. I just kind of noticed that we seem to be going in the same direction, and I am really struggling with making my way through the crowd. I was wondering if maybe, I could get a ride?
Oh. Yes. Come along. And he points up to the horn. And when you fly up there and have a look, you actually realize that the gold horn is false. Underneath kind of his mop of hair, there's a headband keeping it there.
Whoa.
He's wearing a
That-
horn piece.
Yeah. Is that real gold? That is some
What?
craftsmanship.
Whoa. Yes. Yes. It is. Do you like it? It's moo.
It's truly fascinating.
No.
It's truly fascinating. I feel like you'll have an opportunity for some real artwork on this. And maybe some mechanisms that could be placed in.
Mechanisms.
Yeah, I am an inventor by profession. And what is your name?
He blinks at you a minute. Make an insight check if you would.
Oh boy. My dice landed on the computer and gave me another nat 20. I am very happy right now. I don't know what is happening, and I prefer it to stay that way.
Your impression of him is that he's generally picking up on what you're saying until you hit a multisyllabic word, and then you kind of lose him. You think Common may not be his first language, but he's doing his best.
Got it. Okay. See, I doubt he speaks Dwarvish. Fair. All right. So Nia is gonna try to speak slower and more respectful because, from a player's perspective, when someone doesn't speak your language, do not speak the same things in their accent.
Do
that
you
happened to me.
understand words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, and also don't say it louder because that's doesn't help either.
Yeah.
So like,
It's not, and you're also right there next to the big ear.
Yep. So she's like,
You can
and
hear
she's
ya.
gonna say, I am Nia. And your name is
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
I am, and he kind of throws his hands wide. Ferdinand! And you actually see people like turn and look, and then, you actually, a little ripple of applause comes out from him, and he turns his head and nods.
I love
Good
him.
to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. I'm wondering, are you going to the what is that place called again? Like, he didn't call it a prison.
It's, there are several watch houses throughout the city, or watch offices.
Watch office. Yeah.
Barracks. There's a lot of appropriate terms
Fair.
for them.
Okay.
Are you going to the barrack? You're going to the barracks, right?
There. Yes, to the barracks.
Why? Do you also have a friend that is locked up?
No.
Is it not a friend?
Yes.
Who may I ask who they are so I can help you find them there? Because I have two friends that are being stuck there and I need to find them.
Yes.
Oh god. Cool, thank you, let's go! And Nia's like, hops back on the horn and is like, onward!
People clear the street for a 10-foot tall minotaur. His size, just the breadth of him. He's as wide as any two oxen pulling a cart coming through as he swings his shoulders, and he's, just as you're up here this close to him, he smells of sweat being masked by what smells like very expensive oils and fragrances. And within fairly short order, you come to the watch house. And you see the guys in their orange and green and their pointed hats standing out front with their clubs, and they all have these badges on, which look an awful lot like that, people in chat. And as you get close, it is pretty apparent to you that Ferdinand is not fitting in to that building. And so, stopping short of it, as to watch people kind of look up with their eyes getting wider at the side of him. He kind of looks at it and is like calculating this width of his horns and the height of his body and the door frame. Is good. Could you go in?
Yeah. Who do you need?
My son.
Your son. Okay.
Yes.
Their name?
Looks just like me.
Got it. Okay, only smaller?
Yes.
Got it. And their name?
Manny.
Sorry, what was it? It got glitched out.
Manny.
Got it. I got you. I'll be right back. And Nia just flies in. She was very much enjoying the people having to part ways to like let them through. So
when you go in, the watch office is fairly small. There's this little foyer and there's a little coffee station and a couple of not too comfortable looking chairs. There's a desk and then a hallway going back. The building is much deeper than it is wide. And a gnomish woman is sitting at the desk, kind of with one boot up on the desk and sipping some of that coffee. And when you flutter in, it takes her a second to notice you, and then the boot comes down, the coffee goes. Yes, hello. How can I help you? Welcome to the watch office.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here to get 3 people. How does that process go? You know, I'm usually the one on the other side, if you will.
Well, we don't normally let people go once they get in unless their bail is posted. Are you prepared to post a bail?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. Who are you here for?
So there's 3. So, there is, Zentris, there is Emannuel, and there is, Manny.
Zentris, Emannuel, Manny. She flips a page and looks back. We don't have that many people back there right now, and I don't have a Manny. I have his interest in an Emannuel. Ran up, he checks.
Does a man
15 gold tab at a couple of pubs that they couldn't pay?
Okay. So we, does the Manny maybe, like, work here or something?
No?
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Not that many people at this office, I know more by name.
Fair. Okay. In this case, so if I just pay you 15 gold, like, are the other 2 free to go?
As if their account is settled.
Okay, perfect. I will do just that. And after that, we'll figure out this whole Manny situation. Maybe he's just in a different outpost.
Right you are. And she takes up a little cash box. She counts out 15 dragons from your new supply of currency. Takes them, puts them, makes a few marks in her ledger, goes to a wall, takes down a rack of keys, and goes back. Zentris and Emannuel, you guys woke up in the late morning, and it is now late afternoon. Not only did you get your breakfast, but you've had lunch here as well, waiting on any kind of word. In fact, the guard has changed since your earlier conversations, and now you hear the sound of keys at your door as someone who is too short to reach the upper sliding eye hole unlocks and opens the door. Says, "Good news for you boys. Bail's been posted. You're free to go. Now, don't let us catch you in any sort of trouble like you were in last night. Find yourselves some gainful employment, and this sort of thing won't happen again."
Yes, ma'am.
Swear on it. This is a very abnormal situation. That won't happen again.
I need a shower.
Actually,
So bad.
he told me about what happened to you boys. That's actually rather sad, isn't it? I'm so sorry. You really have to watch yourself in a city like this.
Not kidding about that.
Speaking of, do you know of a Longbottom family?
A Longbottom?
Mm-hmm.
Zentris, that was probably a fake name, although probably a good nom de plume to write down to work
I'd
with.
say I think I'm sure I've met several. I don't know them personally. Sounds like kind of a generic name.
Like a Smith, yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's fake.
There are a lot of Smiths in the city. Both a lot of Smiths and people called Smith. In fact, the person that signed you out is named Smith. Funny that.
Who did you send?
Do you know a Smith?
Not in quite a while, honestly. And I pop my head around the corner to craning. Can I see her?
Like,
Yeah,
signed out for
Nia
my
is
one
just-
Begonia Smith?
Oh god.
Never mind. I know it is.
Nia is sitting on one of those uncomfortable chairs that are clearly like way too big for her, with her arms crossed, just like waiting with like a smile on her face. She's clearly enjoying this.
She would. So are we free to go at this point?
Yep, she's locking the door back behind you and is already making her way back to the desk.
I'll swing back by because I'd like to help you find the individuals responsible somewhere in the near future.
Oh, well. Any help that you can provide to us in doing our job, and it is our job, let me remind you, would be very much appreciated.
Certainly.
Oh, and your possessions. Check up, there's a footlocker by my desk.
Can I see Nia yet?
Yeah.
All right. Look at her like, really? Miss Smith, is it?
Really? You're giving me shit right now?
I'm sorry, is that not her name?
Of course it is.
Yeah, yes, it is. And then she just gives him the glare, just like, seriously? Getting caught for not paying the bill.
Story than that. But first things first, how did you get here? I sent for someone else.
You sent for someone.
Oh
Shit, by the way, real quick, we need to find a Manny. Was there a Manny amongst you guys? We're gonna talk about, we have to unpack this, by the way. Like, I'm just saying, like, we were all just paying a bunch of money for this job. What happened?
Let's get out of here first, but don't worry. I know exactly who Manny is. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Zentris will look at Emannuel, like, daggers, like, I wonder who Manny is.
So you guys are...
Wait.
You guys collect all of your things.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Motherfucker.
I've been waiting for 4 months for this.
Oh, my God. Did I casually just meet your fucking dad? Oh, my God. Say, wait.
So you gather your things, and Emannuel, you see just high perception out the door, through the window. There's a big-ass minotaur out in front of the building, pacing back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I step out and I look at him. I said, "Hello, Dad."
Manny! And in 2 enormous hooved steps, he crosses over to you, gives you a big bear hug that almost bends you a little backwards, going over the belly, and picks you up. You're a tall boy, but you are not as tall as Ferdinand.
I am
And
not 10 feet.
drags you into the air without any effort and without a thought. I have missed you.
Well, it seems you found me. Can't breathe. By the way.
Oh. Right. Let me look at you, son. He's holding you out, just arm's length.
Here I am. In one piece.
I did not. And he clears his throat, and he dips into the. He dips into Abyssal. He dips into the family tongue. Says, which sounds terrifying to people in the street who were already giving him a wide berth and already begin moving even further around. Says, I did not expect to find you in a place like this! A watch office? Being picked up for not just drink. Look, I would have been proud of you if it had been for the drinking, but pay for your drink, son!
So, are you aware of the scamming network in this town? I say an abyssal back to him as, smoothly as I can.
Nia's standing next to them is just like, am I, what?
I have no idea. I barely speak common, so I don't know what's going on.
Right. So you guys are hearing like
Scamming
This obviously is a
network.
family thing.
Sorry, what?
Scamming network.
Yes, well, it seems what was his name? Stoutson Dowdley or something? I forgot. Was that it?
His name was Dalroth Stoutson.
I got close. I said, well, we ran into a chap who was very, very clever. I thought I was smart, but you know what? He got the best of me. And he's got all my funds right now. We're going to work on that over the next day, but don't you worry about that. So normally, yes, we pay our tabs. You didn't miss on that. I'm very astute about, paying money where it's owed. And, well, someone else has all mine right now.
Nia, I saw so many colors.
Wait, you what?
We'll go into detail later, but go on.
Oh, God.
I looked to my dad and I realized that we're drawing a bit of a crowd. And I said, do you have, in Abyssal as quietly and quickly as I can, like, do you have a place of residence that we could, hole up for the moment just to get out of the streets? Because people are staring. You can't really go anywhere without someone mobbing you, and we've probably got about 2 minutes before one happens.
Yeah. Right, well. We could go home to the Sea Ward. It's quite a walk. Carriages don't fit your old man so much anymore. And slaps his belly with a thunderous clap.
Right, well, we don't have a hotel, so we can't afford one right now.
I love him so much.
Calypso
Like, oh
is
my
there.
God.
She'll be so excited to see you. And Antonio. Antonio will be coming back at the end of the week.
Oh, and how is Antonio?
Antonio is fantastic.
Of course he is. Absolutely.
He's been off training in the Dagger Forest.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
You've been keeping up with your training?
Not as much as I should, which is one of the things we should talk about. But let's go for now. Let me tell them real quick the plan, and we'll go.
Right.
I'll look back to you guys. And
are you going to introduce us?
Yes, and I motion for them to come forward.
He is straightening his toga while he does.
I had no idea. It's very nice to meet you. I'm glad we've met before. In the proper way beforehand, if you will.
Well, if you're a fan of professional fighters, I give to you the Minotaur, better known as the Bull. Don't flex too much, they'll crowd us.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And I apologize for the shenanigans me and your son got into, but I promise that this isn't normal.
Oh yeah, extremely. Both of these I was very surprised when I figured out where they are.
If there's anyone to blame in this situation, it's definitely me.
Well,
Why you? What did you do?
I'm very much still a part of this as well. It's not
If I wasn't buying those colorful drinks, I don't know what could. I don't know.
So, what did you two do?
Let's
I saw
get
so
somewhere
many
private.
colors.
Oh my god. Let's get somewhere private first, and I'll recap the whole stupid thing to you.
Love that, please. Yeah.
We've got an estate, house around the mountain, around the corner. It's a few minutes walk, if you don't mind.
It is good to meet you. He puts his hand out towards Zentris.
I put my tiny hand in his very big hoof.
Just absolutely swallowed. I am Ferdinand Longhorn. Longhorn. He kind of looks back and forth to make sure no one heard. Emannuel, as he's doing that, you're noticing the gold horn is new. And it is to your eyes, obviously fake. Almost matches the other one. Your father, among many other things, is a vain minotaur, and it takes very little insight for you to know. Probably lost that in some kind of a fight and trying to keep up appearances.
May I roll a history check on the last name?
Sure, you may.
I'm so glad you asked.
Do
Please
it
roll high.
with. I was going to say, this is not really, I think, your venue.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Like,
okay.
So roll with disadvantage, but I also hope you roll high.
I really hope you roll
Okay.
high.
Let's see. Okay, what's my Wait, I just checked my history.
It's plus
It's,
4.
Yeah, +4. So the lower one is actually 12. The higher one would be
12?
16. Yeah.
So the name does kind of run up and down the coast a bit. I don't know if you just assumed it was a common name when you met Emannuel or not, but
He
Ferdinand
never really
Longhorn,
said his last name, so.
Ferdinand Longhorn is like hearing about Rocky Balboa. You know, it's like not someone currently operating or a big name in fighting right now, but in his day, he was. Well, maybe the apt comparison is like a Chuck Norris, right? Like still alive, not still fighting, but everybody knew this guy once upon a time, right?
Got it.
He was a combatant in the Fields of Triumph here in Waterdeep, one of the largest venues for any kind of competition, whether it be physical or otherwise. A minotaur with a double-headed axe that would defy all odds, beat all comers, topple champions, and held the title for nearly 2 decades.
Got it.
If Zentris, actually, if you want to, you're a Waterdavian, and actually you study martial things. You're probably not as historical, but you might know a little more than that.
What do you want me to roll? History?
History. You don't have disadvantage because this is more your thing.
Well, I got a +0, so let's see. 8.
8? Nah. Sadly, no.
Sam, you failed us at the wrong time.
That said, Ferdinand is leading you through the streets of Waterdeep towards the family house. So there's that. And you are welcome to converse on the way if you wished. If there's anything in particular you wish to know.
Where's our cart, by the way?
Oh God, what did you do with the cart?
Where is our cart?
You do a little asking around, and it never made it to the watch house.
Dude, where's our cart?
What did you do with the cart? I will kill you guys if you guys lost the cart.
Yes, well, Acorn and Cinnamon will be quite upset to be lost as well.
Yeah, I'm more worried about them than the cart.
So
That's why you were able to talk to the fucking oxes.
Wait, so you actually got to communicate with them? I just... Oh, okay, I thought I was
that's
crazy one.
Yeah.
So, both of you can roll me a disadvantaged, let's call it wisdom, since you're better at that.
Song maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull the lucky dice out.
Both the fun
That is a-
boys.
17.
Oh, nat 20
Nice.
on wisdom.
With disadvantage, you got a nat 20?
Oh wait, no, with disadvantage. Okay, hang on.
18
No.
for me.
JK.
That is
So
18.
actually, to be fair, it's a dirty 20. So 17 plus 3.
I see Sam's back.
No, that was my lucky dice. The other one was
How
my
are you doing,
unlucky.
Levi?
That was a 18, so that's a 19. So
Okay. Both of
18.
you recall, now that you've kind of had a chance to put it together, you made several stops last night. The first stop, and perhaps the highest tab that you had, you didn't have the money to pay, but you did have something to trade. And so the bouncers there separated you from your means of conveyance as a means of paying your tab. It could probably be reclaimed if you so wished it.
That is going to be my plan. I hate to ask him this, but I lean over to Dad and I say, so Dad, well, funny thing is the cows are currently lent out for a few
What?
coins. We can get
What cows?
Acorn and Cinnamon. They're a bit of fans. They really wanted to meet you as well, but they're stuck at the bar.
Ferdinand always has time for his fans. Which bar?
I love him.
I'm assuming we're at the Jade Tavern.
You guys make your way back through and kind of go stop by stop until you manage to find the location where they were taken care of. Ferdinand, this is a place with a big patio bar. Ferdinand has a seat. He actually orders drinks for you, any of you, if you are interested. When it is made clear that Ferdinand Longhorn is at this establishment, the bartenders come out, all the waitstaff comes out, the cook comes out, everybody starts talking to him, and he tells some stories. He lets you guys enjoy your drinks, and when it comes to the end of it, he offers to pay for the drinks, in which no one working there wants his money. He says, well, actually, I have this other thing. It seems like maybe some family property was kind of embarrassingly, it had to be, and he kind of makes a big deal of it, and he winds up still not paying for the drinks, but being allowed to repurchase your animals and your cart.
The whole time, Nia kind of keeps giving Emannuel like the glare, just like Longhorn, fucking Longhorn, like really, dude? Like this is something you say when you meet the people you do shit that we did shit with,
You know what?
What?
We all have our histories, and I didn't want everything to be about that, so I kept it to myself.
Not everything would be about that, but to be fair, that man was a legend in any fucking shop that I work with. Do you know how many artificers would kill to meet him? Like, this is insane.
No, I have no idea how famous he is. Please tell me more.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying, this is like, hey, as a person who has history to be ashamed of, this is not something to be, hiding.
Hey, you don't know what it's like to be Emannuel. Like,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. That is fair. I'm just saying it's really cool. That's all.
This is why I don't tell people. They assume things. They make snap judgments and decisions. They think they know. Everyone thinks they know what it's like. They think it'd be so great, but you know what? It's not. It wasn't easy. And he's a good man. He did his best, but it wasn't always easy.
What was it like?
Very tough. Imagine you grew up under the strongest dad in the world. At least that's what everyone else told you. And then they all try to pick on you and pick fights with you. You gotta get really good in the playgrounds really fast.
I understand that.
You definitely got the skills to prove it.
Well, would have been more fun to just be a normal kid sometimes. But hey, it's not all bad, right? Sometimes your dad can come pick you up out of jail for the day.
Hey, there, I don't know what it's like, but being a normal kid is overrated.
And as a person who has no parents that I know of, like, it's nice to see that parental bond, and I can understand that growing up is hard, but never forget what you got.
And sometimes I'd rather have that Zentris, but you're right about that too.
As you guys are having this discussion, Ferdinand has kind of been pulled away from your table to deal with people. You guys actually have a little bit of intimacy at your table right now, and you could go into the specifics of what happened with Nia if you wished in a moment. However, your discussion is somewhat interrupted as somebody that works here, not a face that any of you recognize, but someone who has the apron on and has their sleeves rolled up, comes over and says, "Oh, look, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm very sorry, but Ferdinand says that you were his son. Wow. Just like, I never thought I would get to meet you. You're not exactly quite like what I pictured. The stories don't quite do you justice, but it's wow, the son of Longhorn. That's amazing."
Yes, it is quite a feat. Did you get an autograph? He's very all about, giving out attention to people who want it.
Yeah,
you know?
actually, and he pulls up his server's pad and shows the Ferdinand Longhorn autograph. It's just basically a big FL with a waggle next to it. And to say, actually, I was, if you don't mind, I'd like to get yours as well, Antonio.
Funny thing, you might notice I'm lacking some things that are not there. Those are not removable. I'm not him.
Oh. Well,
So
you can't.
sorry.
Can I interrupt at that time and be like, did he ask about those 4 moon drinks by chance?
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. So obviously there's yeah, I'll get those right away. And seemingly glad for the excuse to leave the awkwardness, they step away.
Oof. Got it? Hey. I'll not mention it again.
Right, and I know you didn't mean anything by it, but people assume.
I'm sorry, curiosity sometimes gets bigger than my own brain, and I feel like I shouldn't ask, but how did he become your father?
Well, see, funny thing, when a man loves a woman very much, he buys her flowers, takes her on dates.
Hey,
and then
hey, you
Oh.
don't have horns, you said it yourself. I don't need all the Kama
Hang on,
Sutra.
I might need this. Thank you. Go on.
Zentris puts both elbows on the table.
All right, well, let's see.
Starts taking notes on a bar napkin.
Oh, male monastery. Very frustrated.
Anyway, so
I've got human traits from both of my parents. If you notice, minotaurs are not purely cow, right?
Yeah.
You know the stories. Things happen. You've got an amalgamation of genetics as well. Who's to understand where it comes from? Him, Zentris, is several things all at once. And, we don't bat an eye about it.
I glow. That's
hey, I'm not saying it's weird. I'm just, I was trying to figure out if, because they did say you have a brother, I don't know. Or
Yeah, I have several siblings. This is, honest, this whole day, it's going to get really weird. I'm very sorry in advance, because it's going to get really weird.
Big families tend to be like that.
Ferdinand comes over to the table and puts 2 enormous, meaty hands on the table and leans down. Says, I'm sorry. Bands. I'm going to meet Acorn and Cinnamon now.
Tell you what, I'll do them a favor and soften the blow, because first they were prisoners and now they're going to meet the hero. They're going to take a minute. They nearly tackled me the other day, so let me warn them.
What?
Do you want another round while I
No,
deal
not
with all of this?
I'm going to take a break from really drinking for a while, so thank you.
You think?
for that. Yeah. So I go, I kind of shove off and go outside, and I go where they are, and I go to go greet them. Do you guys want to do your scene here first or me first?
You first.
Yeah, go. I want to see this.
All right, and I walk around the corner, and I see Acorn and Cinnamon, who I'm assuming have thought we were dead at this point.
I'm trying to remember Acorn and Cinnamon versus old Bessie and how I did voices.
Think of Crunk.
Yeah, Kronk was the male.
Yep.
Okay, Acorn then. Yeah, okay. You're a little dialed back. It is so good to see you again. Where did you go? I saw you go into this funny smelling place and you did not come back out. I assumed that you had taken the place over, sir. How is everything going? Is this your place now? Do we live here now?
No, we're going to go to where I just wanted to check on the both of you first and to brace you. My father's here. and so there's no need to panic or anything.
Oh, God. Really?
Yes. So I thought
Wow.
letting you know first.
Wow. Do I look okay?
You look
Did
fantastic.
Cinnamon look okay?
Certifiably bovine in every
Okay.
way.
Like, I know I don't look grade A right now, but is it like good enough?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
wonderful. Excellent.
couldn't be more proud of the both of you. You've done a long way. Thank you for watching the entire
Thanks,
night. So
baby.
sorry.
Hey, bud. Oh, it's okay. Anything for you, sir, and also by extension, your prestigious parentage. Wow. Is it? Can we just have a minute? Just like
Oh, sure. Take all the time you need.
do the
I
deep
tell him-
breathing.
You're right there. And I pet both of them kind of on the snouts.
It's fine. It will be fine. Just cause, wow. Is he nice? You know, they say don't meet your heroes.
Oh, he's very, very polite and gentle when he's not on the battlefield.
They psych themselves up for a moment and are appreciative of your encouragement, and as they prepare themselves to meet Ferdinand Longhorn. Around the corner and leaving the patio, Nia and Zentris, y'all have a opportunity to private moment as everyone's still crowded around Ferdinand. If Sam, you want to fill Katya in.
So, seeing Emannuel like slowly leave, Nia turns and goes, "So, how?
How what?
How did you two manage from the moment of showing up here without me, by the way, which is just impressive, end up without money in the place where you ended up? Like, I'm just
I tried
Yo.
hallucinogenic drinks for the first time, and it was a blast.
I see. And how was that?
Are they bringing them? This
Oh,
is like
no.
very like eager of like, ooh, and like
Oh, this is coffee all over again, isn't it?
new experiences. No, we just kind of honestly let the night carry us away. We got hoodwinked out all of our money because they told us that basically we had to exchange our money for vouchers, and those vouchers didn't end up existing.
I see. The classic big city situation. Okay.
And then
So-
the rest of the money I seem to have paid in drinks or given away.
Okay, and so do you know how much was stolen or
For me, at least, it was like 130 gold.
Oh, okay. They had a field day with that one. Okay. From my experience, usually, do you remember the person that told you about all this?
So his name was Dalrath Studson, but I don't know if that was a real or fake name, but I can definitely spot his little butt running around somewhere.
Perfect.
So,
Hey, careful with the little. The most important thing is that, like, we know what they look like. So, usually, my experience after something like that, they usually go to either a tavern or a bar. So, as long as we keep hitting those places, they usually lose their money very quickly. Assholes like this tend to not hold on to shit they stole. So,
I actually have an idea about
Ooh.
you tricking him. Because
Right, well,
he likes
I'm all
fooling
ears.
people who just entered the city.
uh-huh.
And so if you happened, just like the pickpocket incident with the Red Ruffians, oh no, I don't know where to go. And there we are.
No worries. I got just the thing for him to be surprised about. And Nia kind of taps on her little cannon. So,
Real quick.
Yeah.
Are you okay with Rose leaving? With Tyria leaving? Like, I know that was kind of a hard thing. That's why you stayed back. So I just didn't know if that was the reason for you staying or not. Oh, you're muted.
nope, I'm not. I was asking people to close the door.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you for asking like that. To be fair, I'm very happy for her position and everything else. there's a part of me that wanted to stay back to kind of get as much advice from her as possible, because there were times she's the reason that we survived in the first place. So that was there. But I also feel like, I hope we'll be fine and that we will get to see her again as she continues through all of her cool endeavors, because she's definitely going to make this entire continent a little better.
I know we'll see her again. It's just taking time. We'll just have to build our own adventure, and eventually we'll run into her. Or plunder, one of the two.
Or both of them. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a wedding invitation in the future.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Emannuel can marry them. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he said something about being like a minister at one point.
Ooh. I mean, hey, considering that he was nearly killed by one of them and actively was saved by the other one, opposites attract, so it only makes sense if, he married them.
Hey, at the end of the day, she hit me the hardest, so, knocked me out cold in one hit, so.
That is fair. I do remember that very well.
So do I. Alrighty. Other than that, milk shots?
Bring it on.
Completely forgot about that.
How dare you? So Ferdinand, being the cows being suitably prepped, this half bovine hero meets his full cow fans and has a wonderful time just moving and snorting and stamping the ground, making their acquaintance, listening to their adulations, finding out a little bit about them. All their favorite fights of his that they heard about. Of course, they weren't invited to be in the Field of Triumph. This is not for your character, Zentris, but would you roll a d20 for a perception check for me?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Let's pick which dice? 1 through 3, Rob.
2.
2. Good choice.
Is it the lucky dice?
Is a 17. No, it's my original dice. My quartz. Yeah, it's 17, sir.
As you guys are talking, Zentris and Nia, a man kind of swaggers over to you, not with the kind of like ostentatious overconfidence of a braggart, but more with the confident stride of someone who feels comfortable in almost any situation they're in. Heavy set, male, human, in his 40s, gray showing up in dark hair, leather armor, has a sheathed short sword and a dagger on the same side of his belt. Might have been passingly attractive at one point, but it looks as though about a third of his face is just burn scarring. Just not quite that hideous orc from the Return of the King. You all know the one. But just something like Todoroki level bad happened to this guy at some point in his life.
It's rough.
But undeterred by that, he kind of walks to the edge of your conversation and waits for you to notice him.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I would have seen where he came from, like from a table or from the bar specifically, or?
Sure.
Okay.
While you're rolling, Nia would just like side eye him and be like, "Oh, can I help you?"
That's a 21.
21.
Nice.
This character seemed to arrive during your time here. They occupied a table here on the patio alongside you. Pardon me. Long enough to have a drink, and then they've been smoking just outside the patio area. And you've kind of walked into within earshot of them while you were having your conversation, preparing to leave.
Okay.
And as Nia, you address him, says, "Yes, I believe I heard you speaking of a Dalroth."
I believe it's a little rude to listen in on other people's conversations.
I apologize. You were simply the most interesting thing happening around me.
That
He's
was
like,
smooth.
really?
Ah,
Pointing at Longhorn in the back. Like, really?
She got you there.
I've had the pleasure of being in Mr. Longhorn's presence on more than one occasion. It's no longer a sensation to me.
So then what part of Dalroth intrigues you?
Well, his apprehension, for the most part.
Well, that we do have in common.
I would wager that caught you coming into the city, had some newfangled scheme for separating you from your coin. He pulls a long, like a 5-inch cigarette from somewhere within his coat and begins to light it.
Unfortunately, we wandered across his path.
Well, Dalrath has probably gone to ground. Operates short periods of time, surfaces at another gate. But Dalrath is small fish. Dalrath is part of something bigger than just one dwarf.
Now, how big are we speaking of?
Big enough that it has caught my attention. And the attention of my employers.
And
And who are these employers?
We are the network.
Could I do any kind of check to see if maybe I know what that was? Or would I have absolutely no idea?
No, you can roll. This would certainly be history. Remember, you have inspiration and guidance from the chat if you need them.
I might need it.
This is interesting because I have 2 theories running right now, and either one could they're 2 very opposite theories in this case, and I don't want to jump the gun on either one of them because if I'm wrong, then we might be fucked. So,
Well,
and
if we're
it's
not
too early to
fucking-
get fucked.
Okay, I used my inspiration because
Okay.
I first rolled an 8, and then I rolled an 18 with a 0 modifier, so that's an 18 even.
Nice.
The network could be referring to any number of things. There's probably, half a dozen things. But he seems to be saying it in a way that you should know what he's talking about. And that being the case, the Black Network is probably what he is referring to. It is a synonym, a nom de guerre for an organization known as the Zentarum. The Zentarum are a large organization that seeks to increase the power of that organization throughout Toril, throughout the Forgotten Realms. They have cells in many different cities, much like the Lord's Alliance do, or the Order of the Gauntlet do. They are an unscrupulous bunch who have taken part in extra legal activities now and again, but for the most part, those are radicals within the group. The organization as a whole tends to keep its nose clean. But rather than the interest of, the common good, they want to grow the organization, to spread the organization's influence, and imagine them like the mafia in a way. Like, it's all about family, and you can be in the family. There's no requirement, really, to be a member of the Zentarum. As long as you are loyal to the Zentarum. The mafia is probably the best way I can explain it.
Okay. Okay.
Just imagine if the mafia were not a blood family or isolated to a city, but everywhere. You ever watch the John Wick movie and they have the that kind of flash mob thing where everybody's walking through the square and then everyone stops and looks at John Wick like, no, we're all in on this? That's Zentarum.
Okay.
Not intimidating at all.
Well, we're currently at a weird impasse, but how would we get in contact you if we are interested?
Takes a long drag off the cigarette. 5-inch long cigarette. Half of it's gone. And he blows it out, just kind of between the two of you, kind of missing both of your faces or being offensive. Just ask for Floxen. Doesn't matter where. I'll find you.
Case question for you as well. What are your opinions on Lord Neverember?
I'll look over at Nia, like very confused because I obviously know the name, but I've absolutely.
Oh no, and she just looking him dead in the eyes with like the most like motionless, like a friendly, like how was your day type question.
Daggled. Daggled Neverember.
Precisely. The ex-lord of these lands, if you will.
Smart man. Got out while the getting was good.
I see.
If he did it. Got away with it. If he didn't, got out before the lynching started.
And you believe it's about to start?
Not if he's not here.
Fair. Well, in this case, we'll definitely be keeping you posted on Delrath. We have, as you can tell, a very big interest in making sure they get what they deserve.
He drops what's left of the cigarette and grinds it into the dirt with his boot. And then covers the cigarette with the dust from the road, because littering is a 2 gold fine in the city of Waterdeep.
That's a big deal around here.
Puts his hands deep into his pockets, says, if you want a little help, Floxen. And he turns and wanders off into the growing evening. At this point, Emannuel, Ferdinand, Acorn, Cinnamon, and your cart have made their way around the corner.
Real quick.
Yeah?
While he was walking away, could I do a perception check to see if anyone was watching us while we were interacting?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
A lot of people were. Maybe make an insight check and see if you can discern if there was anything more to it than casual interest.
Ooh,
a lot of people are looking at the guy with the half burned off face.
The 22, sir.
A 22?
Nice.
You believe the answer to that is nah. Just curiosity, interest. No one was watching you.
Okay. And then are we at the first bar that we were at when like our night first started? Are we at the, I forgot the name of the
no, you're not at the Tankard.
Oh, not the Tankard. Okay,
No.
never mind. Then
You guys had money at that stage of the evening. And then Ferdinand is coming around saying, "This is my favorite bar." And then to where Emannuel can hear him, "On this block."
Heard that.
Do we go home?
I look at you guys, kind of like, yeah.
And Nia kind of gestures to Emmanuel, just like, we need to talk after this. Cool.
Why do you think I want to get out of here?
Yes, let's go. We would love to see your humble abode.
Ooh, then you're gonna be very disappointed, brother.
Cute. Come on. He starts taking you towards the Sea Ward. We will have a quick little break for everyone watching and everyone playing, and when we come back, we'll head for Manny Longhorn's house. Thank you guys to everyone who was watching. Thank you to Dabs for the cheers. Thank you to Dabs and to Grimforge for the 3 gifted subs between the 2 of you. Appreciate you both. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. These are some of our OG long-time watchers here,
You guys are great.
Thank you guys so much. We will be back in just a few minutes. See you soon.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
We're going. Thank you
that
for
was
your
perfect.
patience. Took a little bit there. We had some things to discuss. Let's get back into it, shall we? So, Emannuel, Zentris, and Nia are following Ferdinand Longhorn, Minotaur and champion of the Field of Triumph, back towards the Sea Ward and beyond the Field of Triumph, as a matter of fact. As you guys are passing around it, Zentris, you've seen this from the monastery before, kind of in the distance. You may even have gone over there once or twice. Nia, this is your first time seeing it. If it weren't round, this is very much evocative of the Colosseum. Just towering walls concealing and massive arena with row upon row upon row upon row of stone seats to view it from, and large shaded canopies to keep the sun off of the folks watching. Within, Emannuel tells you, if Ferdinand does not, because Ferdinand would very happily do it would just take forever. There's an immense field inside where the city guard comes sometimes and does troop formations for the spectacle of it. The Griffin Cavalry will come along and perform some stunts in a Blue Angels-esque sort of way. They'll also have sporting competitions, strength events, martial contests, things akin to the Olympics, as well as matters of state. Like, noble folk will come here and make proclamations, or debates will be held here on very rare occasions. For the most part, any time Waterdeep needs a place to gather an immense audience, the Fields of Triumph are called into service. As you guys are passing by one of the gates, there's a massive stone lion's mouth built around the gates, so that as you would be walking into the Field of Triumph, you would be being swallowed by this immense facade of the beast. And Ferdinand is looking at this place, almost as if he built it himself, just with this pride on his face of, that's mine and I love it. But you guys pass this by, not stopping. Folk around here nod to Ferdinand, wave to him, call out his name. We love you, Ferdinand. Love you too. And you make your way towards the Longhorn family home. It is on the eastern side of the Sea Ward. It is not quite near the ocean. It doesn't have that view. That lane there is basically reserved for temples and the storied nobles of Waterdeep. Nevertheless, Levi, what are we looking at when we look at the Longhorn family home?
Well, it's definitely a gigantic estate. There are some high walls around it. You can definitely see that it's on the coast. It does have access to the ocean, and as we pass through what looks between like a vineyard and kind of fields for crops and such, you can see the backside of the house kind of opens up sort of boatish like someone could potentially row up on the way on the inside. Matter of fact, there is what you would consider kind of a swimming pool in the middle of the house. Like I said, it's large. Katya, I can't hear you if you're talking.
No, I'm not. I'm just here quietly being like, what?
It's big. There's pillars on the front of it. Makes you think a little bit of the Parthenon, a little bit of Greek sort of structure to it. There's gazebo, a couple of them in the front, stone built. You could see, like to the west side of the house, closer to the ocean, there's definitely training fields. The places where I would have done archery hundreds of thousands of times. Dummies that you could beat. I forget what it's called, but Zentris would love it. It's the kata forms, with the poles that stick out. Pow pow. You gotta do the routines all around. There's a bunch of those out there, whatnot. Basically, if you didn't know who Ferdinand was, you would think he's growing his own private army. He's not. He just really likes having places to train and train other people. So it's fighter's dream. They love it. like a huge house, multiple rooms, kitchens, massive. You would see, if when we get to the point on the inside, there's a bunch of bedrooms. There's a big one. That's where mom and dad sleep, and that's I think you get the general idea. It's a huge place. You can tell money has flowed through here, and for the most part, Ferdinand did build a lot of it on his own. He got help here and there, but he lifted a lot of the stones on his own.
It's actually very out of keeping with the rest of the decor of the houses around you, and noticing your surprise at the fairly Mediterranean columns and whatnot, and all the white stone. Ferdinand shakes his head and says, "HOA has been on my ass about it.
Don't pay those fees, they come for you.
Oh, you own property in the Sea Ward. Then you talk to me about fees." He looks like shaking your head like, "Oh, God."
Oh, we haven't even paid our taxes.
Oh, you must.
I look to my dad and I say to him, I was like, "Are the walls higher than the last time I was? They seem taller. They look different."
Well, we had to build them up somewhat. Antonio, scales them for exercise. They were too short.
You all right, Emmanuel?
No, I'm perfectly fine. Right, of course. Anyway, let's get indoors. There's things we need to discuss.
Do you want to scale them like the old days?
It's been a very long time. I probably couldn't do it, to be honest.
I tap over to Emmanuel, be like, "Hey man, you and me, I race you."
Hey, don't leave me out of this. Nia's just smirking in the back.
Oh,
She's a
you
bit
can
tough.
fly, though.
Hey, nobody said you can't. Nobody said it's not allowed by the rules.
I snort at him. I say, she's got you there, but in Abyss, I'm like, she's got you there.
Is fair enough, he says, and back to you in Abyssal. Even with her flying, you and Antonio could probably beat her to the top.
Well, not everything's a competition. I snort back to him.
He seems to be processing that.
Oh boy, this one's taking a second, isn't it?
I don't think that's right.
That makes sense, coming from you, honestly.
Come inside. Calypso will be delighted to see you.
Right.
Who?
My mother. If you would just...
My wife!
Ah.
Excited to meet your mother.
You guys should brace yourself. This is going to get weird.
He,
Weirder than this?
Wait,
throws open the massive gates and begins the walk through the topiary to the main house. Once you guys make it through the gate, it says, "Just loose acorn, cinnamon. Let them enjoy the grounds."
Right, and I start to unfasten their harnesses. It says, "Don't wander too far. You don't want to get in trouble out here."
They are half listening. They're very excited to be here.
Never mind, I'll just be here.
Making your way beneath the columns, inside of the home, and there are these two enormous brass rings as knockers that Ferdinand takes a grip of and swings the doors open. Apparently, he has never heard of opening one door to go in anywhere.
Oh, no, of course not. No. You got a grand entrance.
That's him.
marbled floors, spotless place. You see immaculately dressed household staff moving about, polishing things, setting stuff aside, carrying candles into the various rooms to have them lit now that the sun has gone down.
You got staff?
I look at Nia and I say, "Told you were going to be disappointed."
The other thing you notice as you're coming into the house is the source of it is currently invisible, but simply spellbinding music is being played from somewhere. It is, there's all kinds of different, like, genres of music out there, right? And you all might be into kind of different bits, like this style or that style, or maybe this speaks to me and this doesn't. But when something is just so well done, it is difficult to argue or difficult not to enjoy. And from somewhere on the grounds, just beautiful tunes are coming. It sounds like a single female vocalist and a single stringed instrument.
Do you have someone on hire for everything?
For several things, yes, but not this one.
Oh, is this... Oh.
Yes, well, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's Mum doing her daily serenading, so, Anyway, here we go.
Daily serenading?
Darling! The boy has come home! Manny's back!
I start walking towards the edge of what is the pool and wait.
The singing stops. The music stops. Kind of in the middle room of this house, you notice there is this ring-shaped pool, and then there are these channels of still water that lead out of this room and underneath walls, and you actually saw some similar. The word is failing me. What are they in Venice?
Channels?
Water ducts. Channels, yeah.
Sure.
Did you say water ducts?
They are built throughout the grounds, as you know, Emmanuel. And you see a telltale ripple, and a few moments later, a gorgeous woman pops her head out of the water. Long hair that shifts between gold and blue and emerald. She is dressed in this black dress that is, well, it's very wet, and so now it's form-fitting. And she kind of lifts herself onto the bank, her dress still trailing down into the water, and reaches up towards Emmanuel. And she, for all the world, she looks like Emmanuel might be older than her. But she reaches up to him and says, "Son, it's been so long. I'll give your mother a kiss."
And I reach out to hug her and I kiss her face. "Mom, it's so good to see you. How have you been? Look at you. I look older than you now. What's going on here?"
"Oh, you know, my condition is one of the reasons your father married me."
"Well, he is a bit like that, isn't he?"
"Is every bit as beautiful as the day we met."
You know, not many people can say that and it's truthful, but in this case, completely accurate.
Impressive.
Nia leans over to Zentris, just like, he was right. It did get weirder.
Hey.
"And guests, how wonderful. Manny, you've made friends."
Well, you say that like it's surprising, but yes, I've made two of them. There was a third one, but she's doing other things now. So, up at the front, here we've got Zentris, fantastic monk. Very skilled with his hands, wouldn't want to fight this fellow. Then we've got Nia, the tinkerer. She's an artificer. She creates too many things. Be careful, she'll set you on fire.
Okay, it was just once, okay?
I reach out my hand to, like...
She looks genuinely concerned and looks at her husband, like, She set our son on fire? Once? Even once?
We got it put out.
She electrocuted me a couple times too.
I think. Hey, I also the amount of times I saved your asses is more than the amount of times I actually hurt those asses. So the ratio is good.
That's true. That is fair in her agreement there. You know?
I'll pull my hand back and turn around. And, you saved who in the forest?
Watch it. You got knocked out way too many times.
Emmanuel, as soon as fire came your way, you should have dove underwater. It's much safer there. You know this.
Well, there wasn't a lot of water where we were at the moment.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yes, well, some of us aren't landlocked, so to speak.
Says, have you had anything to eat? You look so thin.
Oh, we just had a snack at the bar. Dad's favorite one on the block.
Yes, he has many of those. Ferdinand, darling, would you help me to the chair? And Ferdinand lumbers over and lifts her from the water and puts her in a wheelchair that is not far from the pool. And you see that from the waist down, she is all scales and fins.
I'm sorry, relationship goals? I'm just saying these two are just like, I don't know, making it work. I'm amazed.
Zentris knows very few things about relations between species, and now this is very confusing.
Before Zentris, like, if Zentris is about to ask something, Nia just, like, positions herself next to his face so she can just do this in time.
I look at Zentris and I go...
I'm glowing, like, embarrassed, like, I don't know how this works.
Just tiny little finger.
Yep.
Ferdinand is speaking in what he perceives as a quiet tone, then absolutely is not.
Yeah.
Oh.
To Calypso and saying,
the boy has lost all of his money. Someone tricked him into being poor. He lost all of his friends' money, too.
Yes, I did. I was going to work my way into explaining that, but, your usual tact was in place.
My poor thing. If you need money, all you have to do is come back to us.
Well, I appreciate that, Mum. I have every intention of fixing this and then some. I know who did it, and I've got a couple ideas of how to fix it, so just really need a day to get my footing, and we'll get back out there.
Oh, well, Emmanuel, Manny, you don't have to do these sorts of things yourself, you know. That's more of... He was... And she kind of turns to the other two. So he's the youngest, and, he's the smallest of them as well. Antonio's coming back in just a couple of days. If you just point them out to him, he and his friends will absolutely take care of anyone who's done you wrong, just like they used to.
I am fully aware of that, and, well, as true as that is, I don't want anyone to die in the process. He can sometimes have a bit of a rough hand.
Oh, but if they hurt you, they deserve it.
I've not been physically harmed, Mum. I'm fine. Just a bit embarrassed is all, but you know what? Part of life.
Yes, it's perfectly under control. Manny's going to handle it, and you must remember, dear, the code legal. We can't kill here like we could back home.
She kind of mumbles something under her breath that you catch enough of. Would be awfully lot better if we could.
Only illegal if you get caught.
True.
Ferdinand looks to you, just shaking his head, and the little brass ring swings side to side. But Calypso kind of like...
I love her so much.
We can talk to the boy more tomorrow, darling. They're very tired. They came down from Neverwinter. Your old room, ready for you.
I'm surprised it's not been turned into an exercise room. You know, another one.
It's not as you left it, but there's a bed and it's made.
Is it made of hay? Just curious.
No.
Ah, good. good.
For, Pollux, last, how do you call him? Live-in girlfriend. She's gone now.
About to say, has it been cleaned lately?
He looks at Calypso, and Calypso says, meticulously.
Oh, thank God.
She holds out her hand, and a drink is placed in it, and she takes a drink as she says that. Apparently has very disparaging opinions about Pollock's girlfriends.
Oof.
Robin's flavors of the month.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
Leastwise, you are all shown to the 3rd floor, which you notice ramps everywhere in this house. No stairs. And when you get up there, the room, your old room, Emannuel, has kind of the main chamber. It's almost like going to a suite at a hotel. Like there's a sitting area, and then there's the bedroom, and then there's the little ensuite apartment, and there's enough space for you all to kind of stay in this space. Especially since Nia takes up no room at all. One of the house staff comes in and checks on you, Emannuel, fluffs some pillows, make sure that you have access to snacks and things to drink, and...
But I know this one.
This one's a new one, actually. This will be a tabaxi, mottled gray and white fur, a big black spot over one eye, and just kind of quietly and dutifully doing her job.
All right. I just real quick. Do I know this one? I mean, you saying I don't know this one at all? This particular tabaxi?
Nah, new hire.
Okay. I wave at them and I say, hello.
Good evening.
Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Manny. Manuel, actually, I prefer. Don't listen to them when they say that, please. Manuel.
Evening, Lord Emannuel.
It's just Emmanuel. Well, you don't need to do that.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Well, but otherwise, don't do it. Just
Puts a paw
nice.
up to her face. Okay.
I say it's nice to meet you, as I'm trying to indicate I'm trying to get her name.
Oh, they just call me Spot.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. We won't be here very long, but you know, I'm sure Mum and Dad pay you well.
Well enough.
Right, makes sense. They're always good at that. Well, nice to meet you. Carry on.
Nice to be met. Do you require anything else?
No, just wanted to introduce myself, that's all.
Ah. What for breakfast in the morning?
Bit of a fan of oatmeal, honestly. Coffee sometimes.
We can provide.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I
Good evening, Lord.
start.
Manuel.
And I start to head towards my door and open it up.
And she excuses herself and trots down the stairs.
Was that a Catwoman?
Yes, they're called tabaxi.
My
Yeah,
world is opening so much wider by the day.
Hey, they're actually pretty prominent in Neverwinter as well. They're really interesting to talk to.
I'll have to try to talk to more people because I'm very narrow viewed, I guess.
You know, you just got to get around a bit, is all. Anyway, I thought
Show
I'd
you
say hello.
around.
I guess you guys probably want a tour of the place.
That's up to you. I'm
To be
happy to chill in here. I could tell the tension in the household.
Yeah, also, and to be fair, this entire place is bigger than an entire fucking forest I grew up in, so, like, I'm impressed, to say the least.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I left. It was always too big.
Left?
Yeah. And I ushered them into my room and kind of closed the door behind them. You know, like,
Listen, as an authority of someone who never talks to their family again for... My point is that, hey, I see there's tension and everything, but leaving seems a little drastic.
it wasn't on bad terms, if that's what you're meaning. And I have closed the door behind them so that we can speak in private and freely. So it wasn't on bad terms or anything like that. It was just Dad casts a very tall shadow, both physically and metaphorically. And then Mum, she's well known as well. And there was no place I could go where I didn't get compared to either one of them in some way, shape, or form, or Antonio, or any of the other ones. And I felt if I was ever going to be anything free like myself, I had to do it on my own. And I don't want to be a pit fighter like Dad, or a singer like Mum, or anything else. I like helping people, and I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm different, you know, in any way that counts. You know, and that's all I've ever wanted. I just want to blend in, want to be part of the populace.
But see, that's... Oh, go ahead.
I say it's really hard to do here.
I feel like that need to help everyone is exactly what makes you special.
Yeah, you should pride yourself in that, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, still couldn't do much of it out here.
Fair.
I mean, at the end of the day, how many people did you save? How many people can atone their life to better things because of the things that you've done?
I don't know. I've never really checked. I just try to be helpful when I can.
Well, that's the best way to do it, is you should never ask for things in return.
Hey, at least the entire population of Fendolin will always be grateful to you.
Well, my name anyway.
As you guys are having this conversation, everyone's passive perception is a 12 or better.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, no, my passive is now 16.
Okay. Yeah. So
14.
yes. You all become aware of a rustling in a curtain that separates this room from the next. And large curtains. And out of the corner of your eye, you see that curtain begin to move along the wall like it's being dragged.
I will...
There's obviously a large shape behind it.
Could I take one...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, could I take one of my darts and just, like, throw it at its foot to hit whatever, like, was, like, on the ground? So it's like it gets nearby, but not, like, actually hit the person?
And would I know what this is?
You can make a... You can roll something for me.
Which one?
Perception, insight.
Perception. My perception's naturally a 14, so I'm probably going to go with that.
Well, both of them are doing that, and he's just like, holy shit, is your place haunted too?
See, I have a 16 plus 4 on that 20.
So you suspect that it might be Pollock behind the curtain, just given the immensity of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Zentris preparing to throw a dart.
I start to put his hand, I'm like, no. And I walk over there and I just lift the curtain off. I'm like, hello, Pollock.
And there is a person behind the curtain. It is a centaur, but not horse. Cow. Squat down, very wide. The human part of this creature is almost as wide as the cow part. There's muscle under there, but there is a lot of man on top of the cow portion of this figure. Also, just plenty of body hair, to the point that it's almost like cowhide on most of his frame. Already patchy hair, receding hairline, and he's clutching a pillow to his chest, and he's wearing a just covering kind of his torso and keeping him warm is a sleeved robe, which has a couple of holes in it. And he turns and says, "Oh! Emmanuel, I did not expect for you to be home. Good to see you, brother." He pulls out his hands for a big hug.
I do the same. And I avoid the horns.
More family. Got it.
Wow, I thought I was alone in here. What brings you back to the old stomping ground?
Well, honestly, just needed to recollect some thoughts and take a little bit of time off. We just did an adventure and we saved some people, and we needed a moment to ourselves. And now we'll be here for the day, and we should be gone and out of your hair before you know it. So you'll hardly know we're around. I take it you thought someone else was in this room, did you?
No, I thought no one was here. I just needed to get something, look for something. Found it though. Holds up the pillow.
I check that shit. Well, I don't need to, but
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh god. I rolled well too. I'm just trying to figure out what was he there to actually listen in on us, and it was a different thing. 21.
21. No, he is very much very much embarrassed and sad, and feels very much caught red-handed that he is in here. He's happy to see his brother, but also very
alone.
More embarrassed than anything. Well, and you have friends who are here and watching this. Great! I wanted that. Good to meet you. I'm Pollock. I'm his oldest brother.
And
Nice to meet you, Pollock.
I point out the two of them. I said, we've got Zentris here, and this is Nia.
Nia, hello! And Zentris, good to meet you as well. Is so glad. Welcome to the family commode. You know, our casta is Sue Casta and whatnot.
Well, Pollock, it's been great to see you. And perhaps I'll see you tonight.
Yep. Just gonna head back to my room where I belong with this thing, which is mine. It's normal. And y'all just have a great time. So glad you're here. Yeah.
And he starts clip-clopping towards the door.
Is there a particular reason you wanted to listen in on this conversation, buddy?
What? No, I wasn't listening. And I don't even know what you're talking about.
Anything specific you were trying to find out? I'm just checking in.
No, I didn't know you were here.
You got your pillow, right?
Yes, my pillow. It's mine.
Absolutely.
You see him lean down and smell it for a second.
Yep. Anyway. Rest well. See you in the morning.
And he beats a hasty retreat.
I shut the door behind him. I say,
Huh.
that's his ex-girlfriend's pillow.
Ah,
Uh,
got it.
You
Trying-
have
Trying to be gentle on him because I know he was embarrassed by it.
I just thought he was listening in on us. I was trying to, make.
No, he doesn't. I'm not calling him stupid. That's not the case. But he's not. He doesn't have the wit to think about people like that. He's very honest. He's
Very.
understanding. So I love playing, 3 Dragon Andy with him. It's great.
well, and you aren't making me jealous of having family. So
Hey, technically speaking, this is supposed to work.
okay.
Hear from somewhere else in the apartment or somewhere else in the hallway. Sheila! Ah!
Unfortunately, I couldn't hear that. Your mic
No,
cut
we,
out.
we couldn't
Yeah,
hear
you
it at
know.
the beginning.
I know you yelled it. What was it you said?
Sheila!
So Emmanuel, we have news.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, we have,
Real talk, real quick. So
We can talk.
I have a lead actually on what's his name?
Delred?
Delred. Yeah. So
Yeah,
go ahead, Nia.
about the no, you can tell the whole story. I just that's not the type of people you trust. That's all I'm saying.
No, we didn't. That's the thing.
No,
Let me
no, but hey, I get it. I'm not talking about Delra. I'm talking about the person that spoke to us, right? Zentris, were you gonna talk about that guy?
I don't trust him as far as I can throw Acorn. So but
Pretty far.
no, I'm talking about the oxen acorn, not an actual acorn.
You could throw that one pretty far too, but hey, you're strong. That's all I'm saying.
Cool. No, but we can use his information.
Right.
Fair.
So, to give you a recap as to what happened, Dalroth was smart. He had 2 cons going. The first one we didn't fall for. The second one we did. And, well, here's what happened. He introduced himself to us. He directed us towards the currency exchange, which we were going to do anyway. But it turns out he directed us towards a fake one that didn't exist. It looked very real. I turned all my money in thinking I was doing an intelligent thing, and I had given them all my money. Didn't realize they were fake, bills. About 6-7 hours later, and, he'd spent the few gold that he had. And then, well, we owed a tab. Which, by the way, I fully intend to pay you back for that. What did they have at the door? Because I didn't know.
15 gold, and honestly, like, considering that neither of you have money at the moment, like, don't. My point is that wait, you told me. So there is literally a physical place full of evidence.
Yep.
Oh, well, shit. And we're actually in Seaward right now, aren't we?
Yes,
You're
they
in the
take it as a
Seaward.
very serious crime.
Well, you see, I might have a particular friend I made along the way that will be very happy to bust in on a couple of bad rags, if you will, to clear his family's name. I'm sure he'll be very interested.
Well, that is part 2 of the plan. Basically, I would have put us up in a hotel tonight, but I didn't have the funds, and I knew, honestly, it's been years since I've seen Mum and Dad, so I thought it'd be nice to see him again.
Honestly, they are lovely, and I can see there's some tension going on, but here's the deal. It's weird when a family has no tensions at all. Like, tensions do happen. It's just a question of whether you're able to make them work. And, for example, your parents, the 2 of them, make it work, and I'm very happy for them. But I digress. My point is that, if you guys can help me find this friend, because if we need to... Wait, hold on, fuck, you know the area! How far away is the yawning portal?
Oh, we passed it on the way in, actually.
Actually,
Shit!
pretty much true, yeah.
Perfect. So if we stop by there, we'll be able to get in touch with the new friend that I've made, and get all of your guys' money very shortly, and probably in a very spectacular fashion.
Right.
I trust your friend over the friend we met at the bar, so let's go with that.
Fully agreed. Because you see, the friend that we've made at the bar, creeped me the fuck out, and not because of his burned face, because of the way he was walking through that tavern as if he owned it. That's not a vibe that you receive from someone that is good or has good intentions, for that matter.
Point of order. We got snookered once, really well. The best strategy to do is any names you have, you should definitely run them by my dad first. If there's someone worth knowing, who is good or bad, he will have no doubt met them, either way, and we'll know.
Did the guy tell us his name? I think he did. Right, Zentris?
Yeah, well, he went by Floxen.
Loxon. And
That's
he
right.
said there was a network. You looked like you kind of knew what it was, so I kind of went along with it.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what it is per se, but what I think he's talking about is the Black Network, which is basically like,
The Zenitran?
yeah,
I'm gonna roll to know what that is, Rob.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I also kind of jumped the gun. I don't know if Nia knows what that is. It's up to you if Nia knows.
Y'all can both roll. You can both roll with advantage.
Oh,
At
thank
least
you.
hearing it referred to as the Black Network.
Gotcha. 50 plus what?
Oh,
What am I?
History.
Knowledge?
Sorry.
History. Gotcha.
23.
15 there. Roll second one. 17.
Okay. You basically know all the things that I told Zentris about the Black Network, Emmanuel. Nia, you know something a little bit more. Zentarim are something of a shadow of their former selves. Not to say that they're anything, they're any small organization now, but there was a time when Zentarim could have made a play to overthrow some governments and, like, really, you know, how the Lord's Alliance is kind of over several cities now, kind of this cooperation of all these different political bodies. The Zentarim could have been the Lord's Alliance if they wanted to be at one point in not too distant future. The person who was in charge of the Zentarim at that point was a powerful wizard named Manshoon. Manshoon was very prepared for his own demise and made, by magical means, several copies of himself. So that if anything happened to him, he could continue to be as awesome as he was. The problem is, they all somehow, against his designs, were awake at the same time, and all convinced that they were the original, and they all led different bits of the Zentarim, different cells, against one another, and basically destroyed this government-sized mafia from the inside. And that was a while back. It was mostly infighting, so it didn't really affect like the cities or the world at large. But it was a big to-do for the Zentarim, and people have kind of taken them a little less seriously since then. And
I would imagine so.
Nevertheless, with a 23, that's probably how they want it for now.
So the Zentarim, we were talking to. Oh shit, we were talking with one of Manshoon's goons, weren't we?
Say that 10 times fast.
Hush.
You will also remember, Katya. Let me backpedal on that.
Okay.
There's something I should check before I disclose that.
Well, while you're checking this,
I'm not gonna be able to check it while we're live.
Oh,
keep going.
fair. Oh, okay, got it. So I'll just. So we were just talking to one of Manshoon's goons, weren't we? This is going to be interesting, to say the least. So, Zentris, the reason why I asked about Lord Neverember when we were at the table is because I was trying to figure out if the whole thing that went down in this town a while back with the whole, like, embezzlement of money and stuff, if they were, like, on his side or if they were actively trying to, like, get in his place. which could still be either way, but by the way he was talking, it seemed that maybe they were kind of like along the same route. So maybe, the friend that I made along the way might be even more interested in catching, seeing all of that get squared away.
Tied up together. Yeah. What do you think, Emmanuel? You know the city better than me.
Well, when we're done with this conversation, I wanted to talk to my dad first and let him know where we were at and see if he had any foresight. For all I know, he's very involved in something that could be stopping them. He might know. Or he might be completely ignorant. You never know. Some days he's very connected, and some days he's very, into his training. And I don't know which one of these cycles we might be in right now.
Well, beautiful thing, Emmanuel. Though we may have made a mistake last night, I bet you we made more than a few friends.
It seems to be the general idea that people did like what we were doing.
So, I mean, worst case scenario, we can always poke around the people that we know.
True.
Gods, what were you doing?
Well, I don't remember most of it, but apparently this is what we've been told. There was drinking, there was dancing. I know that we were very popular, not just for buying drinks and whatnot, but it's hard to explain. You ever had one of those very epic, legendary nights? Well, apparently we had one, and we can't remember most of it, but I'm sure if we keep thinking about it, some of it will come back.
Emmanuel had to teach me how to tip because I was tipping too much to random people.
Well, no wonder you were liked. I see. Okay, cool. So we might also have some correct connections around this town as well. And I suggest that as soon as Emmanuel, as soon as you want to have that talk with your dad, whenever that is, we should go and be on the lookout for Prince Raenar.
Something's playing. Rob, your speakers are going
Oh,
off.
we hear you, Rob.
We hear you. There we go. We heard a video playing.
Yeah.
Oh, and now we can't hear you at all.
He's looking up something while we talk or whatnot.
Figures, yeah.
So we'll just.
Now we can hear you. We couldn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll let the Twitch hear me. I'm trying to check if I gave something away in a previous episode while they're doing this. So that is why.
We did hear that part. Oh,
I couldn't tell what I heard, but I heard noise. I just don't know what it was.
There was noise, yeah. So,
Well,
and then we're gonna be on the way to to find where's Prince Raenar.
I thought you said that name earlier, and it didn't really register.
Oh, yeah. On the way, I actually met the Raenar.
Really?
He gave me a ride. Very pleasant man.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Oh, speaking of, we need to go get that brooch.
Brooch?
Or the necklace? What was it? The thing that we threw, Emmanuel. Sorry, real quick, just for fun fact. Someone tried to slide a ruby and gold necklace of some sort into Emmanuel's pocket, and we were able to get rid of it, but it's still sitting out there.
Well, we think it is. Maybe it is. We felt like somebody was trying to plant evidence on us, but we didn't know what or why, so we abandoned it as quick as possible.
So if anything, I might go grab it tonight.
Very smart, and I would love to take a look at it, but we're not gonna touch it. If it stays there, that's good. Because I do like that evidence is another like very easy parlor trick to like get people to So yeah, that would be a great idea to check that out too.
So we got a lot of leads.
Yeah, and a lot of work to do. And hey, at least this city doesn't need to board up windows when they go to sleep.
Right? Yeah, they don't have that problem here. There's more political sort of things going on here.
Yep.
Speaking of things I'm not good at. So.
Oh, please, don't worry. A couple of days here, you're gonna be great at it. I wish we had Tyria here. She's the one that's perfect at all this, but we'll manage. At least I hope.
Well, she's doing much more important things now.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right, Rob, how are you doing there?
Ooh, hello, players.
Goodness, that's a lot of raids.
Hello! Oh, Mick Arcade. Wait, who it? Playotic. Hey, thank you guys. Hey, Mick, how's it going?
Oh.
Enjoyed your Final Fantasy stream the other night. Hello to... Oh, let me go ahead and do the thank yous here. Thank you to Dire Bear GM for rating us a little bit ago as well. Thank you to Heck8 Kitagawa, to Mick, to The Nart, and to Monkey Man. Oh, Monkey Man, you were very active in the chat the other night. You were the... I think they said you were often in the chat before the streams began. Good to see you all. Thank you guys for the follows. Thanks for supporting this channel.
Also, it's granny time? Sure. Yay!
Oh no.
Was
Alright.
I not supposed to say it?
Best granny voice, Levi, go.
Granny Goodness is here to take care of you, my boys.
Sam?
What you're talking about anymore?
Nia?
Hello, friends. Well, today we'll be discussing about Russian babushkas with you.
Of course. Why didn't I suspect?
Oh, if we talking about grandmas, we talking about the northern Minnesota, yeah.
Love it.
Oh, you know.
I hate you so much. I just
that you've come to visit. Oh, how have you been doing? Are you married yet? No, sorry, that's just my grandmother.
Aw.
Yes. Katya flashing the bling. Hey, thanks, Baby Mist. Second month. Appreciate you being here. It was great playing with you the other day.
Ooh,
Nice.
ring pone.
I got 2 rings, but neither of them mean anything.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, true. Right. So yeah, you guys have had a lot of chance encounters since coming near the city. I haven't quite found the answer to what I was researching, but I will find it before we play again.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So, Rob, if you're ready, I wanted to get back into things here, but I didn't want to do it before you were done looking at whatever.
Yeah.
What
Sam, we were
things?
just trying to get the conversation going.
I was going to have a conversation with my dad, but you needed to be free to do that first.
Oh, sure. Are you guys, it is fairly late.
No.
Alright, you want to go bother your dad in his room tonight?
I want to see how that happens.
Do
Well,
you?
Oh, wait, no, I
It's a
don't.
very
Wait, no, I
healthy
don't.
relationship between
Yeah,
him
I
and
did
his
say it's a
missus.
healthy. That's why I was like, wait, no, I don't want to see. I'm good. I'm happy for them. I'm good.
I'm gonna go find the necklace. You guys, I don't want to hear the noises.
I meant I was going to bug him right now while he was out and about doing, daytime activities.
Oh no, it
That
is
was-
nighttime. It was late when
Okay.
you guys got to the trade ward,
Oh.
and then you went, the southern ward, and now you are on the other side of the city. After having stopped at a bar for an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So you're saying my dad is preoccupied with mom.
Most likely, yes. Y'all
They
were,
got a
y-
healthy
when y'all were coming
relationship.
in, they were bringing light into the different rooms because it was sundown.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to risk it. Kind of wanted to talk to him before this game ends.
Okay. All right. I will make a roll.
Nia is about to follow Manny. I was just like, oh, maybe I should probably settle in for the night. Like, the robot needs a little bit of fixing.
So you head to your folks' room. Are you going alone?
That was my plan, and I was going to ask if a maid. I was going to try to find a maid on the way, but like, could you acquire my dad's attention without disturbing them too greatly?
She takes some persuading, but she will acquiesce.
Just tell him I'll meet him in the dining hall.
Several minutes later, your dad comes in, and he's got he's wearing his toga just around his waist. Everything is tied up around him. He's wearing his house shoes, which are just basically hoof slippers. And he comes down and asks if you would be willing to wait a moment. He goes and fixes himself a snack, which is basically a Dagwood sandwich, if anyone read the comic strip Blondie. Yep.
I do. I know what you
Thank
mean.
you. Yep.
It's a
So,
massive sandwich.
Yep, sitting
Whatever.
3 feet of sandwich down in front of him,
God.
between 2 very strange slices of white bread.
That sandwich is taller than me yet.
Now, what is on your mind, son?
Well, Dad.
And you see he's only got the one horn. He's taken off the golden one for the night.
I kind of take that in for a second and just shake it off and go back to it. And I said, well, some things have happened. And I didn't want to talk about it in front of everyone else.
Yes.
I figured you know something about it. We had an encounter with some people a few days ago, and that's why I came here in the first place. They call themselves the Dune Riders. Figured you know something about them, or have heard of them at least. It was quite embarrassing, honestly.
Doom Raiders.
Ah.
Oh. Yes, What do they think of you, my boy?
Well, didn't really think much of it, but they seem to be impressed with all of us. It was its own compliment, but we found ourselves quite
Good.
incapable of
Good.
stopping them.
Yes. They are big players. New to Waterdeep. They've
Kind of looks around and dips into speaking Abyssal again.
came from the south. They haven't been here terribly long, making waves. They are connected with the Centaur. Put themselves in charge of the local groups. Set themselves up as something quite important.
Right.
Dangerous people, powerful people. If they were impressed with you, that says something about you, my boy.
He reaches over the sandwich and pats you on the shoulder.
They are like most dangerous people. If they dislike you, it's bad. If they like you, that is good. Huh? Yeah. There was a day it's like them. You know why they are called Raiders?
No idea.
You remember the undead training when you were small? Talked about liches. There they are. Magic-y dead people.
Yeah, I remember. I try not to think about it most days.
You know, a place that a wolf stays is a den. A dragon stays in a lair. Lich stays in a doom. So, these folks go to where liches live. Take their stuff. At least that's where the name comes from. That's the story. I don't know that it's true. Fascinating if it's true.
I can tell you this, they were powerful enough they might have pulled it off. So maybe it's real.
So are you joining up with them then? Is that the next step for Emannuel Longhorn?
I'm not sure about that. You know, I've always been good at discerning intent of people.
Yes.
For the most part. You know, most of the time. I got a bet. Go ahead.
Yes. Yesterday notwithstanding,
notwithstanding it all, for the most part, you usually can tell when someone's not right. And there was a sword. And I describe it. I don't want to go into my memory to recall it. And I described what we had in that situation to him. And I said, they were willing to kill all of us. They felt like they would kill the entire town. And these two gentlemen we just rescued, everything about it was wrong. I got a very, very bad vibe from them. I don't know what that sword does, but I don't like the idea of them having it.
He folds his arms over his chest, which is tantamount to them just resting on the big belly that he has. And you see him tapping his ring finger on his right hand on an immense bicep. Says,
"Well done. You are, and don't take this the wrong way, the smartest member of the family."
and he looks at you saying that like almost like it's a consolation prize.
He would.
Oof.
Is
So, you already know, and I'm going to tell you. But Father has to say things sometimes. Pick your fights. As much as I tried to prepare you for anything that life may throw at you, there are things bigger than you out there. Bigger than me out there. Magic swords. Boom raiders. The Black Dead One. Those things are bigger than you.
Yeah. Most things are bigger than me.
So, what do we do when we fight something bigger?
Well, could find people bigger than them.
Hmm?
Don't know where else to look but you.
Hmm.
something seems to occur to him. He lifts up the sandwich, takes a big bite, and chews it. And it takes your dad forever to chew anything. He chews cud, you know, like he'll mull on that for the next hour. But he swallows and says,
It's that. I will look up some old friends. See if the name Longhorn still carries weight in the old circles.
You know,
But-
for some reason I think that it will.
But if you can't find a bigger friend, you fight. Yes.
he pokes you where a horn should be. And, in fact, beneath your tousled hair, you have a pretty thick skull and a point or two. Says,
Yes. You hit where the enemy is weak, not where they're strong. Strike when they don't expect, not when they're. You watch, you wait, you take the right opportunity. First opportunity.
You know, I found myself saying something very similar to a friend of mine recently.
maybe then some of what I tried to teach you has been useful.
Well,
Would you like a sandwich?
I think I'd like a sandwich, not 10 of them, Dad.
Used to eat healthy. Tiny sandwich for the boy. Someone! Someone!
You see 5 people scurry to the kitchen.
He kind of hangs his head in shame. He was ready to go make his own sandwiches. Just, oh, God. Right, that was...
No mayonnaise! You still don't eat mayonnaise, do you?
Not very often, honestly. If I can avoid it.
Oh, you were saying?
I guess I've been away for a very long time, and clearly I don't know the city like I used to. Some of it's familiar, but new tricks cropping up all the time. Could use a bit of a tour guide if you're not too busy for a day or something.
I'd love to show you around, but I have made appointments throughout the week, and introducing your brother. He's campaigning again.
Right, how's that going?
Well, he's done roving. Wants to come back and take a stab at the old man's title.
Well, if anyone is ever going to, it would have been him.
We will see. I like to think I cast a long shadow. Big hooves to fill. So, if he wants my title, he'll have to work for it.
Well, that's how you get anything in life, isn't it?
Right.
He will shift the subject, and your sandwich arrives, and asks a little bit about where you've been since you left town years ago, and have you
Tell
been
them
to
the
this
tale.
place, and did you meet so and so? Oh no, they're actually dead. I forgot. Sorry, you wouldn't have met them. Maybe a child? No? All right. And kind of covers this and that, and it winds up shifting, as things often do, to an anecdote from his old adventuring days. Upstairs, Zentris and Nia, how are you spending the time without Emannuel?
I actually have a question for Zentris.
Yes.
Real quick, you mentioned you've heard of Lord Neverember. I've heard of him in passing beforehand, but you seem to have, I don't know, you had a very specific reaction. Just wanted to,
Oh,
kiss the
I
ground.
just know of the name. It's just like a celebrity around here. Like that, I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know what the guy even looks like, to be honest.
Got
It's
a lot
He
of those
used to
going
be
around.
president.
Yeah, it was the name carried weight of more than anything. So
Fair. Question. Hey, if anything, I very much know what it's like to try to adjust to a big city after being not in it for all of your life.
mhm.
Basically, when I first came to Neverwinter, I kind of walked and camped my way outside of the artificer's shop until they finally let me in after a third day. My point is that adapting to things is hard. So don't, blame yourself or if you get confused by a lot of things, because trust me, that's the best way to see this.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm very used to not understanding people, so I'm something I'm normally used to. So you're all good.
All I'm saying is that let's help each other out here to understand it together. Because trust me, I'm this is why I like inventions. They don't talk much unless you make them, and when you do, they can only say what you already understand because you cannot put information that you yourself do not possess into a thing that you're making. So,
Hey, just the same reason why I love animals, because they'll let you know if you do something wrong.
I would love your assistance on that one, to be fair, because animals and I, even though I am a pixie, so technically speaking a part of the forest, so I'm supposed to get along with them. Hi, Raiders! But, you know, I don't, usually.
Honestly, I'm probably Emmanuel's better at it, but
Fair.
I just, yeah.
I still can't get over that he was talking to fucking oxes. And now I understand why!
I don't know. Well, so actually what I was gonna say is I'm gonna run out and go try to grab some ingredients and stuff for some potions and some poisons and stuff to make tonight. So I'll probably be back I'll probably be gone for like an hour or so.
Sounds good. Stay safe, okay? And, where did you learn to make, like, I thought, like, potions is a part of the whole monk thing, but poisons?
Trial and error, honestly. Like, same thing as I said with the animals. I appreciate nature over anything, and so as long as you learn what nature provides, they will provide what you need.
I mean, fair, but I just, I don't meet a lot of people that need to use nature in order to, be able to kill someone.
I just like the strategic advantages that nature gives me, and you should use it while I got it.
Sounds good. Alright, you be safe, okay? And, if anything, here, and, Nia takes out, like, the small stick similar to the one that she gave to, that she left at Phandalin. Remember, break it if you need us.
Okay, will do. So I will actually be sneaking out to look for information.
Of course.
Oh, you bitch.
Okay.
That's why I gave you the stick!
We need to call it here for the evening because it is past 10. And believe it or not, doing Ferdinand's voice really rips
I'll
my
bet.
throat raw.
Hey, bravo. It was great.
That was fantastic, by the way.
It was truly beautiful.
I'm
So
glad
you guys
y'all
think-
enjoyed it. I'm so sorry I've committed to this. There's a reason why he can't be your tour guide.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Thank you, by the way, to Eric Bra for the raid. Hello, Scott Hunt. Thank you for the cheers, Eric. Love you, buddy. I'm glad I got to sit in on a couple of streams of yours this week. I hope I get to in the future. Can't wait to have you back around here when you're ready. Or to jump over to your show one of these nights, one of these Tuesdays. I really ought to hang out again. Oh, he says skull, so I'll have to pour myself a drink before we go. Thank you guys for coming over. I'm gonna flip y'all to another content creator here, hopefully in just a second, so we can all continue to pay it forward. We got a couple of raids tonight. Might as well send folks somewhere.
Yep.
Let's see. Hey, Dork Tales is streaming right now. We'll send people that way.
I was gonna say Arcade Beetle is also great, but later on, so just
Oh,
throwing it out,
well,
'cause
what is
yeah,
it?
he rated a couple of times. Arcade Beetle.
Like Beetle as in Big Bad Beetleborgs, or like Beetle as in the Beatles, or
Yeah, the BEA tools.
BETLE?
English second language, but it's in the chat, so
Okay, fair enough.
in the stream chat. Sorry.
All right, we'll go
I'm
over
not
there.
great
We'll
at
make,
spelling.
we'll make a new friend. If you have the unlocked chat for the sparkly D20 that we use for our inspirations, send that over there. If not, spam them with other little emojis and they'll be fun. Sam, you were at a show this weekend.
I was.
Well, this coming one, you're going to another one here in a bit, right? Not like tomorrow, but like next week.
Yeah, next week I will be at Planet in Kansas City, and then hopefully maybe Richmond. We're still rolling the dice. It's either Richmond or C2E2, one of the two.
Yeah. Well, if you'll be at C2E2, I will be there hanging out with you. And if if it is going to be in Richmond, Katya's gonna be there with you, aren't you?
Ah, do you see? That is some information that you will find out about. Hopefully in the near future, but yes, this is the secret intel that you guys get before anyone else does. We'll keep you posted.
You have the inside track. I've seen banners.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, the banners look beautiful.
They do. High five, Rose. Next time you see her.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That was just some beautiful work.
All right, guys, we are going to pay it forward over to Arcade Beetle. Thank you to everyone who supported us. Thank you to Gary Kahn for it's not really a sponsorship, but close enough. I'll take it for showing us some support. Thank you so much. We just love this game. We love you, this community. You people make this a lot more fun for all of us. I guarantee it. So tune back in tomorrow night. Eric, the Existential Nerd community moderator, and I will be playing Divinity: The Original Sin 2. It's been like 3 months since we've gotten to play this game together, and we're finally coming back to it because he has recovered from his surgery. So tune back in, and we will see y'all then. And in case you don't hear it anywhere else this week, and I genuinely hope you hear it all the time, but just in case, we love you guys.
See you soon.
Yes, you brought the voice back.
For one time, one night only.